Fight fans, what's going on out there, man? Welcome to the latest edition of the greatest boxing show on earth. We talking boxing live, fight fans. What's up with y'all, man? I hope y'all having a good ass week out there. Hope y'all chilling. Hope y'all cooling. We're hoping for a very successful show tonight, man. You know what I'm saying? Sorry I'm getting on here a little late. I'm going to try to make it quick tonight, you know what I mean? Get to the points and get on about it here, man. But I want to start off by saying, we about a week away from Thanksgiving, y'all. About a week away from Thanksgiving. I don't know about y'all, man. I'm ready to throw down. I don't know about y'all. I'm ready to eat good, you know what I mean? But, you know, this year I was thinking, man, the holidays this year, I think I'm going to slow it down. You know, last year, the holidays was almost like a blur, you know what I mean? It came and went so fast, and I don't know about y'all. I'm the type of cat, I love the holidays. I love the festivities. I'm a big fan of Thanksgiving. I'm a big fan of Christmas, all that. I want to hear the music, the Christmas music, the lights, big Christmas trees. I'm into all that shit. So this year, I make a promise to myself. I said, I'm going to sit my ass down. Sit my ass down and enjoy the holidays this year, man, with the family, the whole nine. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to make sure ain't going to be no hustle and bustle for me this year, man. Plus, my dog, y'all know the situation that's going on with my dog, man, where it's any day now for him. So I'm hoping we get through at least get through Thanksgiving. I can't promise Christmas, but hopefully we get through Thanksgiving and he can at least see one last Thanksgiving. You know what I'm saying? What's up, Silver Salamo? I see you, man. What's up, fam? What's up with everyone, man? So without further ado, we're going to get to it, man. And just want to let everybody know, man, if you, like last year, if it was like a blur for y'all too, like it was for me with the holidays, whether you was working or whether you was just grinding, whatever, if you was building your business, whether you was working on your hobby, and it was just a blur, you know what I'm saying? Maybe you was just going through something or dealing with something. It was just a blur. Hopefully this year you get a chance to sit down and enjoy the holidays, man, the right way, man. You know what I mean? Real spill. Thumbs up, man. Let's talk this boxing all day. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Once again, it's on. It is the homie, Mainman Mademan in the building. Hey, y'all know how I get down. We talking boxing. Once again, it's on. It's an honor and a pleasure. I repeat, a honor and a pleasure to rock out with the boxing fam and the boxing fans. It's Thursday, so you know what that means. It's our time now, man. What's up, fight fans? What's up, man? Ain't been on here in a day or so, you know what I mean? Since we've been talking about this crazy-ass Canelo news. Canelo got everybody out here on snooze, you know what I'm saying? The Canelo fog is pretty thick, and people are falling for it, you know what I'm saying? That's the crazy thing, man. We gonna talk some Canelo this definitely episode, man. Big fight this weekend. My man Bud Crawford walks through that door of greatness, you dig? All excuses on the table gets eradicated, you know what I mean? I love that. If you've been one that has picked Bud Crawford to win this fight, because, you know, he's not that good and we ain't seen him and we don't know how good he is. But if we are picking him to beat Shawn Porter, I just want to tell everybody, you know, I think y'all just like me. Y'all just like me. You Bud fans for real. You know what I'm saying? I would never pick no one to beat Shawn Porter if I didn't think he was the goods. I'm just saying, though, but we're going to get there, man. WBC got crazy stuff going on, huh? WBC got crazy stuff going on, huh? I see Bud Crawford making some moves with the WBC. We gonna get there, bro. We definitely gonna get there. Mike, what's up, man? What say you, Mike? Good evening to you, man. Good evening to my homie Mike Rhyme on deck. Last of a dying breed, rolling with the homie. What's up, man? I see you on deck. Salute to you. Breeze, salute, man. What's up with you, Breeze? What's up with y'all, man? We chilling. Silver Salamo, man, what's popping, dog? Shit, I'm cooling, man. I'm chilling, man. Appreciate you riding with me. Zion, I see you, DJ Zion Love on deck. Hey, Wade Lewis, what's up, man? What's up, fam? Everybody, man, thumbs up as you pull up, man. And salute to everyone on the live and everyone on the playback. I appreciate it, man. I'm going to give my Bud and Porter breakdown prediction on this if it's all love. Yes, sir. We're going to set it all straight. You know what I'm saying? So without further ado, man, let's just get right into it, man. Like I said, I'm starting kind of late, so I don't want to hold y'all up so late tonight. You know what I mean? Let's just go ahead and get through this episode and lay it down, lay the truth down. You know what I mean? Let's stick with this Canelo shit for a minute. You know what I'm saying? Let's stay right here. I want to start off by reading. You know what? Let me cut the music for a minute. I want to start off by reading from an article that I had caught wind of, you know what I'm saying? A very poetic article, might I add, about Canelo Alverez. Very poetic article, man, that was written, beautiful words, nothing but truth. The truth is pouring off of the screen. You know what I mean? I'm just going to read a little bit of it. And it says that I was rooting and hoping for Canelo to sit on the throne of greatness. But his latest move has forced me to take the red pill, and its effects has kicked in fast, raising many questions in my mind. Has Canelo clearly separated himself from the top competition that he has faced? No. Too many close and controversial fights. Austin Trout was very close, yeah. Errol Law, very, very, very close. First Gennady Golovkin fight, extremely close. Floyd Mayweather, he lost. He goes on and says, did he use catch weights, rehydration clauses, other advantages before the fights? Yes, the great ones don't depend on you being weak for them to be strong. Damn. The great ones don't depend on you to be weak for them to be strong. Nah, they want the best. They want to be the baddest man on the planet, right? So they don't want, with Terence Crawford came back, he said, I don't want Errol Spence first fight. Let him take his time. Let him get himself back together. I want the best version of the man. That's what real champions do. That's what real champions do. And then he goes on, the article goes on and says, did he benefit from favorable judging? Yes. Yes. I remember one judge even giving him a draw against the great Floyd Mayweather. That's facts. That's facts. And did he face the best fighters in each division that he campaigned in? Left the Charlos on the table at 54. Left Andrade and the Charlos on the table at 60. Including Jaime Munguia as well, if you want to throw him in there. Went up to 75. No Bivol, no Beterbiev. 68, they say he's undisputed. Yet he didn't beat the best fighter of the class in David Benavidez. You can be undisputed, but you still didn't beat was perceived to be the best fighter of the class in David Benavidez. I think that's about right, bro. I think that's about right. Did he introduce us to complete strangers? Yes. Thanks to him, now I know these more human beings in Rocky Fielding, Avni Yildirim, and Makabu. Hey, thanks to Canelo Alverez, we've been introduced to Yildirim, Fielding, and Makabu. Hey, look here, man. This beautifully written article is going to be a link of this left in the description after I'm done with the live stream. This was written by our good friend and brother, Muhammad Hamatola, who wrote a wonderful article over on Boxing News 24. I will leave a link in the description so y'all can go over there and read all of this truth. This ain't nothing but the truth, man. Man, salute to my brother, Muhammad Hamatola, for taking that red pill, man. That's what it is, man. That's what it is. Now, let me, do what me do, and let's take it a step further, shall we? We can push this conversation even more further. Let's put a little main man to it. You know what I'm saying? Here's the deal. Given the recent decisions by the WBC, what they've been talking about at their convention, and we'll get to that news story soon, but the one that I'm more so talking about is the one where they made David Benavidez now the WBC mandatory at 168 pounds, fight fans. So here we are. Let me pull up the artwork on this. Here we are. David Benavidez is now being named as the WBC mandatory at 168. So Canelo Alverez had no problems whatsoever. No problem whatsoever with going after that WBC. Even putting a petition into the WBC when it became vacant because Benavidez lost it on the scales. He put a petition in and said, hey, can I get it? And they gave it to him, even though he held held another title, the WBA. But they let him do it. So I would think with that same vigor, once the mandatory comes around for that same exact title, that Canelo Alvarez should have no problem with that fight, right? But then y'all may say, well, man, Canelo is so big, he don't have to fight a mandatory. Look here, man, let me say something right here. You know what? Let me take a sidetrack for a minute. You boxing fans out here are killing me, man. Some of us are cutting off our nose despite our freaking face. You are worshiping from the altar of Canelo. You are drinking the Canelo Kool-Aid, and you are cheating yourselves. What kind of stuff is this? When I look at now, at first, because I used to bang hard for the Charlotte twins. Like, hey, I want to see the Charlotte twins get in there with Canelo since he ducked them for so long. But given how they've been acting and conducting themselves, who cares if they get the fight or not? My deal is this. I want to see Big David. It's the fight that I want to see. Who gonna tell me as a boxing fan who paid the money? I pay for the pay-per-views. Oh yeah. You all of these Canelo making $50 million. He the cash cow face of boxing. He ain't jack shit without paying customers. And what the paying customer is telling you what he wants to see. See, like I told y'all the other day, we sat through Yildirim's and Fieldings and Callum Smith and had to pay top dollars for them joints, right? So we got to pay pay-per-view for Canelo. Oh, he was on DAZN, man. He was on DAZN. Still had to pay for it. Still got to pay for it. And now he gives us Billy Joe and Plant on pay-per-view. Top dollar. And everything he's going to do from here on down more than likely going to be on pay-per-view, right? Because DAZN wants to get in the pay-per-view business. He wants pay-per-view dollars for you can't move and say, well, I can do what I want to do. And y'all just going to have to accept it and pay for it. You can't do that. See, you say cash cow, face of boxing. With that slack comes certain levels of responsibility. And it means you got to fight the best. That's why you get paid the big bucks. See, I'm not with the whole program. I know today's world, it's all about numbers. You got to, well, this is where the numbers are, so you got to kiss their ass, and since the money, Canelo's fan base is so big and they pay money, so we got to kiss their main man. Don't move like that, and y'all know that. Here's the deal. David Benavidez. You want to clown David Benavidez? Somebody want to sit around? Somebody want to pop up in my chat and tell me that David Benavidez don't deserve a shot? I dare you. I triple dare you. This is how we're going to take the story further. Anything that you accuse David Benavidez of, you better damn sure accuse Canelo of it. And you better show that same vigor. The same fucking vigor. Here's the deal. You might want to say, well, David Benavidez, he's the one that took the coke and lost his belt on the scales. That's his fault. He paid his price. He lost his belt. Now, are you going to show the same vigor for the same guy in Canelo Alvarez who popped for PEDs? You might want to say he popped for coke, but I'm going to say he popped for clenbuterol. And here's my question to you. See, David Benavidez didn't get the hookup of saying take cocaine and raise the level so you can have a little cocaine in your system. I don't know how many fights he came in with clenbuterol in his system since the levels got raised. Maybe he did come in with a trace or two. We wouldn't know because he ain't felt no drug test because the laws got changed. Why didn't David get the same hookup? So if you blame David for taking coke, are you going to show that same energy and vigor for him popping for PEDs? Oh, Mainman Mademan. If it's David's fault that he lost his belt on the scales and he was overweight, he's undisciplined and he doesn't deserve a shot. Really, though? Well, you better show the same damn energy here again. See, Canelo fought at catch weights at many portions throughout his career where he didn't have to worry about missing weight because he gave himself the extra cushion. He gave himself the extra cushion. How many weights he probably would have missed if he had to do it like everybody else? Riddle me that. So when you say David came over a few pounds, well, this dude is fought at mystery weights that we've never seen no white fight at. I forgot the weight he fought Julio Cesar Chavez Jr. at. What was that, 65 or something crazy like that? So, of course, he's not missing weight because he's making up his own weights. So you want to say, well, David ain't fighting at the weight class? Neither is he. And let's take it a step further. Even did it for a world title. David has never done that. David has never done it. So you want to say David missed weight? Fine. He's fighting at catch weights, Canelo weights. He's giving himself cushion. So you can't blame David for shit that he didn't do. Tell me, just put the word facts out there. That's all I need. Facts. You can't blame him for nothing. So nobody can come around and say, well, David doesn't deserve the fight, man, because he messed up. Because everything that David has done, Canelo has done. Ain't that something? But you won't know that or see that because a lot of folks are walking in the Canelo fog. It's very unfortunate. It's very unfortunate. Now we got Makabu, and everyone is starting to gin up the defenses. Well, it's for the 5th division. It's for this. It's for that. Let me put the words of Timothy Bradley on the screen, fight fans. Bayow. This is kicking up dust, I see. Timothy Bradley. He comes out and says, and I quote, it's a fight that they're asking for. The fans are not asking for him to go up to cruiserweight to fight some dude that we don't know. Timothy Bradley goes on and says, I don't know nothing about no Makabu, and I don't care what he is. But the thing I want y'all to focus on the most is when he say this part right here. They're the fans. They're the fans, and they're not asking him to go up to cruiserweight to fight some dude we don't know. So some of you fans want to go in defense mode about it. People didn't ask for this, and they're asking us to pay. Fine, let the numbers tank. Now, boxing fans, what you going to do? This is the golden question. You going to sit there and just take this? You going to be okay with this? Are you going to support this or what? That's the question. Well, man, I want to see him fight this guy, but, technically it is Canelo, and, he's going up to a 5th division and everything, I guess I might tune in. Yeah, you're going to pay $90 with a shit undercard to see Canelo fight Makabu. And you're going to forget the David Benavidez fight, the Bivol fight, the Beterbiev fight, the Charlotte Twins fight, the Andrade fight, the Mungia fight. We're going to just throw all of those fights out the window, all because, it's just Canelo. Mainman don't rock like that. Mainman don't rock like that. I want Big David. Why? Because it don't look right that you got all of those belts at 68 and still didn't fight the best fighter at the class. I got David Benavidez wiping everybody out that Canelo beat at 68. I got David Benavidez destroying Filton. I got David Benavidez destroying Callum Smith. I got David Benavidez destroying Billy Joe Saunders. So yeah, Canelo, you got the belts, but you still ain't beat the top. You still ain't beat the top dog. It don't look right. And now he your mandatory. So let's see you vacate that belt or they going to franchise you. What they going to do? What they going to do? Y'all defend this shit. Y'all dumping on David, and this man did the same shit. It don't make no sense. So, all I can tell y'all is, bro, y'all fall for this if you want. Salute the Makabu for getting this opportunity, but this is bogus. This is bogus. You dig? And at the end of the day, it ain't about always what Canelo wants, who deserves what. Y'all killing me. Oh, why should you? What has the Charlo's done? Charlo's a 2-division champion. Is Callum Smith a 2-division champion? Riddle me that. Y'all tend to forget that Charlo also had a belt at 54 and 60. So when you ask me what has he done, you're gonna force me to ask the question of everyone that Canelo's been fighting, what the hell have they done? Shall we put the magnifying glass on their resumes? I don't think y'all want to do that. I don't think y'all want to do that. So don't ever say what has a Charlo done or what has a Andrade is a 2-division champion. What have they done? That's more accolades than everybody that Canelo's fought at 68. But y'all gonna keep on giving them passes, ain't y'all? We just gonna keep on giving them passes. Don't rock like that over here. I want David. You want to charge me $90 for a pay-per-view? I want Big David. I want an action-packed fight, a fighter that's gonna come forward, that's gonna give you all that you can handle, young, strong, a challenge, an official challenge. No cut catch weights, no rehydration clauses. How you put a rehydration clause on Daniel Jacobs and then skip over 68 and go to 75? How the hell why would you put a rehydration clause on Daniel Jacobs and then go all the way up to 175 in a fight or two later? And no one don't think that how funny that is. You dig? So at the end of the day, I want David. You ain't give us Charlo. All right, you act like Mungia don't exist. You don't want to give none of the young Mexican warriors no opportunity to shine. The only one that you wanted to give time to shine was Julio Cesar Chavez Jr. because you knew you can whoop that ass and it was easy money. But the other ones threaten your spot. We know what this about. It ain't about no hate fight fans. It's about keeping the sport of boxing going. Canelo Alverez is duping the fans. It's unfortunate. Now, when people say the sweepstakes, these dudes need to fight each other, I would not disagree with no one who says something like that. Let me get this out of the way. Nobody who say nothing like that. I would not disagree with that. These dudes do need to fight each other. Without a doubt. They need to make their own way, make their own legacy all day. I don't know what the Charlotte twins are doing. Don't have no idea. But just because they need to find their own way and they should fight each other, that still doesn't take the fact away that the supposed cash cow of boxing, the supposed face of boxing, doesn't get the chance to cherry pick. I don't give them type passes. Mainman don't give passes. Sorry. Don't work that way. You know what I mean? Tell me when I'm going wrong if I'm going wrong. What's up, man? JP Mendez, I'm late. What article are you reading? One that Muhammad Hamatola written, man. It's over there on Boxing News 24. I'm going to leave a link in the description after this is over, fam. That's part of the fam. Let's go all support Muhammad Hamatola, man, in a beautifully written article. You know what I mean? Vincent, what's up, Vincent? Chilling, man. Can't call it. KB says Canelo is making everyone from 64 to 75 fight each other now and not just wait for a payday fight. No other reason to announce the fight on May 5th. But my thing is, okay, look, that's fine, man. If he want to play Vince McMahon, you know what I'm saying? If he want to be the commish, that's cool with me. If you want to make everybody fight each other, fine. But why now? Why do you get to this point and say, I'm going to make everybody fight each other? Why didn't you take that idea at 68? You didn't make Fielding fight Yildirim. You know what I mean? Why was it now when we actually got people that, hell, we ready to dig in our pocket and pay for? Easy work. Hey, all you got to do is announce it, bro, what you need. And he won't give. And when we get to that point, it's, no, you guys all got to fight each other. You know what I'm saying? That don't make no sense. That don't make any sort of sense. It's like now when you finally, it just too consistent with Canelo. Like I said, when DAZN leaned on him to say, hey, Can you give us a fight that we actually can make some damn money on? You know what I'm saying? Can you help us out? Like we giving you these soft touches and, you know, yeah, you can fight these fieldings and all that, but can you give us something good? When they leaned on him a little bit, it was a problem. And then he said, well, if you don't want to give us the top fights, then we're going to have to give you a little pay cut. It can't be both. You can't have fighting these level of competition and still want to get paid top dollar. And Canelo say, hell no, I'm out the door. Oscar, let's go. Oscar say, I can't go nowhere, sorry. But all they asked him to do is step up a little bit because you fought Fielding and Yildirim and Callum Smith. And they like, we paying you top dollar. We giving you $360. You making damn near $40 million a fight for fighting these dudes. And that was bad business on them, but that's all they asked the Canelo to do. Salute to my homie Chief Fred Ford in that super chat. Red, what's up, man? Cooling. What's up, man? I think the WBC ordered Jamal Charlo versus Mungia. We about to run through that in a second. It's not Charlo and Mungia. It's Mungia and Derevchenko. You know what I'm saying? So Charlo, I don't know. They put something out there for Charlo, like he got XYZ going on. But they looking for Mungia and Derevchenko to mix it up. And the winner of that becomes like the final mandatory or something crazy like that. We about to run through that next, as a matter of fact. So, but this Canelo Alverez stuff, man, I just wanted to kind of hit this one last point, man. This Makabu fight. Congratulations to Illunga Makabu. But this is clearly, once again, fam, I'm not falling for it. This is typical Canelo Alverez. This is something I can understand if this is something new. I can understand if he just started doing stuff like this. Then I can say, well, I can give him the benefit of the doubt and say, yeah. But no, this is how he's moved. This is how he's always moved. This is nothing new under the sun. And now people are slicing down fighters like David Benavidez. Real threats, real challenges. Boxing fans say they want to see the best fight the best, but then come out and lay the best defenses for Canelo. I would never get that. I would never get any fans that go against other fans when we asking for the best fights in the sport. And it ain't Makabu. It ain't him. It's David. It's fights we want to pay for. And people need to get that through their head, man. You cannot tell a fan what he should or they can and cannot pay for. These fighters are filthy fucking rich. And it's getting to the point I'm starting to think that some of us is just helping them get rich. Wow. Dog, I'm a boxing fan. I go to, you know what I'm saying? Like, we sit at home. We at home. We watching this on TV. We got to pay for this. I want the best product that I got to pay for. How is anybody arguing against that? Timothy Bradley is 100% right. Muhammad Hamatola is 100% right. You can't tell. You give the fans what they want to see when you charging them top dollar. Period. Not what you want. It's a damn shame, man. It's a damn shame. Cut off your nose to spite your face, fight fans. Some people do that, man. Some people do that. Let's keep it pushing, though. Let's keep it pushing. All right, you know, I see some y'all talking about that WBC. So let's go to the WBC. You know, we had a lot of news come out from this WBC convention that just went down the Tuesday, I believe it was, right? Tion Brown says that the fans have been duped for years. Mayweather gave Canelo the blueprint on how to be the cash cow. I agree. Mayweather taught him a lot, but I think Canelo just took it to the next level. Like, Mayweather just showed him little stuff like, you know, the ring size and your glove size and how to make this person do that and how to play this type of game. But Canelo took that and took it to the next level. You know what I'm saying? Obvious cherry picking. Don't give a damn and gonna tell you to pay $90. And 70,000 of y'all still gonna show up. Damn, that's crazy. That is crazy. That is crazy. Canelo better hope he doesn't have the same issue Roy Jones had after he tried to come back down in weight from his title win against Ruiz. I still think that weight gain and weight loss took its toll. Absolutely. Absolutely. Canelo definitely better watch all that moving between weight classes like that. He good enough to do it, I guess, now. You know, and I mean, he's still kind of young, but that will definitely eventually catch up with him. Weight classes are made for a reason, I believe. And you traveling through classes like that willy-nilly like that, you know, yeah, but nah, especially going up that high, cruiserweight, like this higher than 75. He won up the cruiser. If he going up that high, I don't see him, shit. He definitely ain't coming back to 60. 60 is off the table. Maybe he come back to 68, maybe, but maybe 75. I don't know. But he going up that high, coming back down this low is going to be real dangerous. That's a great point, man. That is a great point. Oh, man, my phone died. Hold on 1 second. That's a great-ass point, man. That is a great point. I got to pull up this list of mandatories. The WBC. The WBC. Making all of the moves in the world. But one of them, for sure, is the David Benavidez thing. Now, look here, man. The WBC, they ran down a whole Mando list. Now, I don't got the list pulled up because my phone literally just died and I had the whole list right here. So, you know what? We're going to come back to this. Give me a second to come back to this WBC story. Give my phone time a little second to get some juice because I got the whole literally Mando list right here in front of me. And my phone just died. So instead, we'll move on to this real quick for a brief second, and we'll come back on around to the WBC thing. Now, one of the bit of news that came out about this from this WBC convention is the Dillian Whyte situation. And y'all know my position on the Dillian Whyte situation. It's a simple deal. I don't believe he gonna get the Fury fight. One way or another, he gonna be finessed. However way you want to slice it. If you want to say they're going to do this, they're going to do that. I don't know which angle or way they're going to come. All I do know is one way or another, Dillian Whyte going to get finessed. But anyway. So according to the reports, the WBC has came out and stated that Dillian Whyte, they have not announced Dillian Whyte as the mandatory. And they're citing the fact that they have an ongoing lawsuit with Dillian Whyte. So by them having an ongoing lawsuit, they've named all of the mandatories, which we're going to run down in a second. But Dillian Whyte was one that got left off the list. Now, it's messed up for Dillian Whyte. And don't get me wrong. Dillian Whyte, I got my problems with him. Y'all know I got my issues with him. But the one thing I'm still ain't also down for, because I'm hashtag anti-suit. I'm not down for these suits huddling up and doing a bunch of corrupt shit. I really ain't down for that. And it's clear what was going on with Dillian Whyte is messed up. But it's a finessing. It's just the way it goes. It's just the way boxing works. When these promoters get next to these sanctioning bodies, they come up with these plans, how to get certain fighters out the way, how to stall them. I mean, Don King is a master of that. Look what he just did with his fighter. What was it? Trevor Bryan. Look what he just did with him. Got him into that and finessed him into that title shot. These promoters, they are next to these sanctioning bodies, and they making shit happen. But anyway, the Dillian Whyte case is now starting to leak out more and more. And in Dillian Whyte's case, like I said, I'm messed up what he did with Oscar Rivas. I'm not going to forget that. And of course, we already know we roll with Deontay Wilder, not fucking with him. But at the end of the day, they definitely trying to screw this man over. So the way that this lawsuit is coming out, it's not more so about Dillian Whyte getting his shot more so per se. It's about them trying to put Dillian Whyte in a bad deal that he gotta refuse. It's more along them lines. It's more along the lines either you take this terrible, terrible deal that we putting out here in front of you, or you don't take jack shit and we gonna kick you to the side. I think either way you slice it, he took the deal, they still wouldn't give him the fight. But then again, I don't know, because they'll make a boatload of money if he takes the deal that they want him to take. And the deal is, it's all about the split. It's all about the split. As long as the WBC does not name Dillian Whyte the mandatory, he's not entitled to certain splits of the purse. But if they ordered the fight without him being the mandatory, just ordered it, then Tyson Fury's side is talking about offering Dillian Whyte a 80-20 split. It's the only way that the fight gonna take off. So Dillian Whyte is like, oh, hell no. Why would I take an 80-20 split and I'm supposed to be the mandatory? But the WBC is like, nope, you're not quite the mandatory yet. And if you're not quite the mandatory, you're not entitled to this split. He wants something along the line of 55-45. And they're like, well, no, you don't got no chance. So let's look at this. Let's look at this. Eddie Hearn. Eddie Hearn came out with some words about this ruling from the WBC. So according to Eddie Hearn, he says, and I quote, I think that the truth is, without the lawsuit, would Dillian Whyte have ever been called the mandatory by the WBC? I think the answer is probably now, or certainly with the terms that he would want, said Eddie Hearn to IFL TV. WBC not ordering the mandatory between Fury and Whyte at their convention this week. I went into some other shit. The legal case and arbitration has to make its decision. And we believe it will be more favorable decision than what we will be the standard WBC ruling. So, as you can see, it sounds like Eddie Hearn and them are happy about this whole court case. Because Eddie Hearn is the one that hyped Dillian Whyte up to do this court case. Clearly. But he's happy. He feel like he got Dillian Whyte in a position. Like, well, man, don't even worry about it. We got the WBC up against the wall. We got their back up against the wall. They have to give you your mandatory shot. We pulled you out of that Wallin fight, right? It's all going to be for you. So we waiting for this arbitrator to make the decision, which we feel like he is going to decide in our favor. So Eddie Hearn seems like he'd be happy. He happy about it, right? He's super happy. According to Eddie Hearn, the WBC said yesterday we can't make a ruling because of this ongoing situation. I get it. We're very confident that the ruling will be in the best interest of Dillian Whyte. Bearing in mind the circumstances, he will be called the mandatory challenger to Tyson Fury. I hear that, bro. I hear that. So he feels real confident that Dillian Whyte will be named the mandatory challenger to Tyson Fury. See, Dillian Whyte, if you never would have got knocked out by Povetkin, you technically would be the mandatory. You lost that mandatory when you got knocked out and then came back as now you're just an interim champion or something. Damn. So Eddie Hearn feels confident. He's got Dillian Whyte hyped up for this lawsuit. And the WBC is like, okay, we can't make no ruling for you mandatory because of the lawsuit. So it is what it is. So Frank Warren, now he's out here, in quotes. And Frank Warren, y'all know Frank, man. Frank Warren, he one of them dudes who talk so much sometimes the truth just leaks out. You know what I'm saying? And Frank Warren just pretty much laid it all on the table. Exactly what Dillian Whyte got to do in order to possibly get a fight with Tyson Fury. And according to Frank Warren, and I quote, I think Whyte's fighting over the purse split, and I don't think he's got anywhere to go with it. Facts are facts, and he lodged his last purse as being 300,000 pounds. This is the deal. Frank Warren and Bob Arum feel like they can give Dillian Whyte around the same amount of money that he made in his last fight, which they believe to be 300,000 pounds. So y'all know how this game is played. They look at your last purse, they look at your last couple of purses, and they may give you an extra 100,000 on top of what you've been making and say, oh, well, this is your biggest purse to date. You better take it. And in Dillian Whyte's case, they think 300,000 pounds is how much he made in his last fight. Now, I don't know that to be true. I'm a boxing fan. I don't know. All I do know is this. Dillian Whyte is fought on Sky Sports many, many nights. All I do know is that Dillian Whyte is also a pay-per-view attraction in the UK. And I would think that with that kind of accolade going, he's making more than that. And maybe Frank Warren don't have no damn clue on what he's talking about. But they say that Dillian made 300,000 pounds in his last purse, and they're looking to basically base their split off of how much he made off of his last purse. So according to Frank Warren, he goes on to says, of course the fighter wants to get paid. I get that. But if you're as good as you think you are, go in and win it. And then you're in the driver's seat. He goes on to say, he could have done that against Anthony Joshua, But he turned down $4 or $5 million to fight Joshua. I'm going to stop right there. Whenever you see somebody using something else, like ain't nobody ask him about, when you just going in on the fact that, oh, look what he did here and look what he did there. You know how, like, when you start doing that, that means you ain't dealing with the situation that's right there in front of you. Joshua ain't here nor there. What went down between him and Joshua is on Eddie Hearn's side. You don't know their business. You need to worry about him and Fury if y'all gonna get him to fight. But he's doing on what he did with Joshua. He goes on and says, I look at that and say, where's your ambition? Why are you in this? I mean, he talking shit to Dillian. He goes on and says, what the WBC have said is, let it go to arbitration. Let the arbitrators decide on whether he got a case or not. And if he has, they'll abide by that. They said the split, which we can't quite get at the moment, is either going to be 85-15 in Tyson's favor or 80-20. He goes on and says, and that's because the purses that were submitted in his last fight, Whyte said he got 300,000 pounds. So they said the split. Like he's saying that the WBC is saying this is what they was down to give Dillian Whyte. This is what the WBC said that they were down to give Dillian Whyte, according to Frank Warren. And this is what they can do as long as he's not named the mandatory. Y'all get it? As long as he ain't the mandatory, they can give him shit splits. 85-15, 80-20. Now, y'all know how, like, we be going off with the Crawford and Porter and Spence talk about 70-30. Man, let something like this come out 85-15. Man, people go crazy. But they saying that the WBC is and see, this is Dillian's issue. This is why, Dillian, you messed up, bro. You don't seem to understand. The WBC is going to put you through hell to get that spot. It ain't going to fall in your lap. Bro, you about to go through hell between legal fees, because according to Frank Warren, they want Tyson Fury to come back by February or March. Who's to say this case is going to be over with by then, bro? Who's to say they don't drag your ass out up until the last minute and you ain't fighting nothing in the WBC, bro? Bro, they got so many avenues that they can go down on Dillian Whyte. They can say, well, you said you had a shoulder injury, but we might need you to sit out a certain amount of time because we got to clear you to come back. The same way that Errol Spence Jr. recently got cleared to come back from his eye situation, right? Or they might say, well, you know, we got to clear you. And we don't feel like we should have to clear you right now because it's so recently with your shoulder issue. You don't know. The point is, you got a lot of people against you in this Dillian Whyte. I keep saying. Ain't nobody got your best interests at heart. Now, Eddie Hearn might seem happy-go-lucky fight fans. Eddie Hearn may seem like, yeah, he got Dillian's best interests at heart. But I will always go back to that moment of when Dillian lost to Alexander Povetkin. And he was happy as hell to not have to deal with the Dillian Whyte mandatory situation because he was trying to get Fury and Joshua going. And I remember saying, I was like, yo, how the hell is Eddie Hearn going to have interest on both ways? The bottom line is this, fight fans. They are stalling this until Usyk and Joshua is settled. Ain't nobody going to make no moves towards Dillian Whyte until Usyk and Joshua is settled, period. That's where the money is. That's where the biggest fight on the planet is. At that point, unifications trump mandatories. They'll re-invoke that rule. You know how sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't? That rule comes back full force for Tyson Fury versus the winner of Usyk and Joshua. Trust and believe. And Dillian Whyte won't have a leg to stand on because they're going to cite undisputed and say there ain't no mandatory or nothing involved out here can get in between an undisputed fight. All they have to do is stall Dillian. That's the name of the game. And that's the way they playing it. All this over a split. So, and listen to what Frank, which one of these quotes was it? Hold on. No, that's not the one. Hold on. This one. Of course the fighter wants to get paid. I get that. But if you're so good as you think you are, go in and win. Then you're in the driver's seat. He telling you to go and take the shit split and just try to win. They're going to make a boatload of money with that type of split. Tyson Fury going to make a boatload of money. They can finesse you out of that fight. Anything can go wrong in that fight. And you lose everything and they get paid a boatload of money. Are you willing to take that type of chance? That's the deal that they trying to offer Dillian. A shit deal. So I don't know, man. All I'm going to tell you is Dillian is shout. I'm telling y'all like that, man. Dillian is shout, man. Dillian is Dillian in a bad situation, bro. Dillian in a bad situation. You know what I'm saying? And I hope he can get himself out of it, but right now they just too busy. They're gonna finesse it. They're gonna go where the money is at. He is not gonna get his shot. I'm telling you. And now you got an enemy with the WBC. Good luck with that shit, bro. Good luck. That's all I can say to that. It ain't smart to sue the sanctioning body that you're trying to get hooked up from. You know what I'm saying? Keep on listening to old Eddie. You just keep on listening. And if you don't think that Eddie still wants a Joshua versus a Fury fight, y'all tripping. Y'all tripping. If y'all don't think that Eddie still wants that fight, man, y'all tripping. You know what I mean? Hold on, fight fans. I'm just trying to bring up my list of mandatories, man. Let me see what y'all talking about. Hey, what's up, David? David Gregory on deck. That's what Dillian gets for trying to finesse Wallin. And you know what? That's another thing. That's another way that they can kind of go with it. You know what I'm saying? They can say, hey, we still got a contract to dispute for Otto Wallin. That's another way. They can say, hey, we sanctioned that and we were okay with that. And they can roll with that. You know what I'm saying? That's a good one. That's just another way that they can get from under this. You feel me? Mainman, Eddie is just trying to make magic happen, man. Man, Eddie ain't trying to. Eddie is stalled. Eddie playing the game like everybody else. Y'all think Eddie innocent in this. Eddie knows exactly what he doing. I guarantee you this. You let Anthony Joshua beat Alexander Usyk, and you're going to see Eddie's true colors. I'm telling y'all real spill. You let Anthony Joshua beat Alexander Usyk, and you're going to see Eddie's true colors. Eddie going to come out and be like, oh, well, you know, we tried to do everything we could for Dillian, and we tried. We really did. But the arbitrator decided this, and, you know, and it is what it is. So we're just going to go towards the undisputed fight with Anthony Joshua. Y'all better get hip. Eddie know where the money at too, man. So look, man, let me get to this real quick. We got it pulled up now. Thank God. I just tried to stall it out a little bit. And I wanted to get to this. I want to talk about this WBC convention, man. So that's one of the things that we just was talking about with this Dillian Whyte situation that came out from this WBC convention. And that is Dillian Whyte not getting his shot. Lawsuit dealing with the splits. But more so the lawsuit is he wants to be named mandatory so he can be entitled to a higher per split. You know what I mean? Now, the WBC at this convention also announced the mandatories in each particular sanction in each particular weight class. So what we're going to do is just try to run down some of them. You know what I'm saying? As far as the heavyweights, Tyson Fury versus interim titleist Dillian Whyte. Of course, the arbitration thing that's all playing out. So until this is resolved, the WBC is unable to proceed with Dillian Whyte. So basically, there's no mandatory right now with the WBC. And this is funny because Deontay Wilder is also in the number one spot. So by there being the mandatory situation being in jeopardy or in limbo, this also definitely gives enough time for Deontay Wilder to go off and get a soft touch. He's number one in the WBC. Mandatory ain't here. Who knows? Gives him more than enough time. Cruiserweight. Illunga Makabu, the guy that's going to be facing Canelo Alverez, is supposed to have been facing mandatory challenger Thabiso Mukunu. Never heard of him. Don't know him. It was supposed to take place on January the 8th, so that ain't going to happen. So the WBC named Makabu to have a mandatory, and this at the same convention. Remember, Eddie Reynoso put the petition in at the exact same convention to take this guy's place and to push Canelo Alvarez in there. Never heard of this dude. You know what I'm saying? Light heavyweight. Artur Beterbiev, or Beterbiev, however y'all call him, will face Marcus Brown. And we've been talking about that fight. It says that this fight is going down on December the 17th, just a few weeks away from that fight. Looking forward to this one. Finally can get my answers on Artur Beterbiev to see how good that he really is. I mean, I'm not happy with his level of competition thus far. I need more than just Vosdick. And beating Marcus Brown, especially if he do it in devastating fashion, would say a lot. Now, I'm not super high on Marcus Brown, so Marcus Brown need this opportunity. If he could pull this out and totally change the way I view Marcus Brown, then good. But right now, I've never viewed Marcus Brown as that good, and don't see it. 50-50 fight, may the best man wins. That's at light heavyweight. Super middleweight. Let's see. Super middleweight, 168. Samson Lekowicz asks that his fighter, former two-time WBC titleist David Benavidez, become the mandatory challenger for champion Canelo Alverez. Eddie Reynoso arrived and asked that Canelo be allowed to contest the WBC cruiserweight title. Hold on. Did I just read this right? So when Samson Lekowicz, the promoter of David Benavidez, goes to the convention to petition the WBC to be Canelo's mandatory, immediately after that, Eddie Reynoso runs into the convention and petitions the WBC for Makabu at cruiserweight. And nobody don't see nothing wrong with that. That's just okay. Now this looks even worse. Because to know that they did this to get next to Canelo, and then Canelo and his people came up with some little deviant plan to say, oh, you want to put in for mandatory? You want to put the paperwork in? Oh, no, we got one for you. We going to one-up this shit. Here, take this paperwork. Everybody got paperwork. Paperwork for everybody. Damn, champ. Hey, that look bad, man. That look terrible, bro. They did this after. So after Canelo, after he get a mandatory, the WBC bailed him out. That's crazy, champ. I can't believe I just read that just now. Let me read it one more time. Samson Lekowicz asks that his fighter, former two-time WBC titleist David Benavidez, become the mandatory challenger for champion Canelo Alverez. Eddie Reynoso arrived and asked for Canelo to be allowed to contest the WBC cruiserweight title against winner Makabu Mukunu. The winner of Makabu Mukunu. So it was universally accepted by the WBC board. So they're saying that Canelo petitioned to get the winner of Makabu Mukunu. We just seen that Makabu just ordered the mandatory versus this dude named Mukunu. So are they going to allow Makabu to do the Canelo fight, or does he going to have to fight Mukunu first? The WBC did order for Makabu to fight Mukunu, but I don't know if Canelo won't get the winner or is he actually going to get Makabu. We've been seeing from the reports that he was supposed to get Makabu, and they're even talking about the Congo. So we'll see. Middleweight belt holder Jamal Charlo. In a voluntary stage, it was ordered that WBC #1 contender Jaime Munguia face the winner of Sergey Deryevchenko versus Carlos Adames on December the 5th. Hold on. So Jaime Munguia, who just beat Gabe Rosado, right? He got to wait for Sergey Deryevchenko versus Carlos Adames on December the 5th. And he says it's being reported that Eric Gomez, who represents Munguia, said that he has spoken to Deryevchenko's side and is committed to making that fight next. So it looks like Jaime Munguia is eyeing Sergey Deryevchenko. And that's if Deryevchenko beats Carlos Adames. And the winner of those fights will become Charlo's mandatory. So Charlo is like waiting like 2 fights before he get a mandatory. Charlo is now in a voluntary stage. Voluntary. So Charlo can fight anybody he wants. Voluntary. It could be anybody in the top 15 of the WBC. It could be a unification. It could just be some weird ass fight. Y'all know how it go. He's on a voluntary. I don't know what names are being mentioned for Charlo. The only one that probably makes sense from fan standpoints right now is perhaps Demetrius Andrade or maybe a Jarrett Hurd. Him and Jarrett Hurd going back and forth at the Canelo fight, so maybe they can make something happen with that. I don't know. But I want to see Charlo step up and fight some damn body. Some damn body. They tried to bring Chris Eubank Jr., Chris Eustank Jr. in, ran for the hills. So I don't know. I don't know where Charlo going. So Charlo's mandatory is going to be decided in the near future, man. Damn. It'd be crazy if Sergey Deryevchenko beat Jaime Munguia or becomes Charlo's mandatory. You know what I'm saying? And back in the position again. I don't see it. But it will be interesting, though, if we eventually get a Jaime Munguia versus Charlo possibility. You know what I'm saying? Shit, that fight could probably happen now. For real, why Charlo on the voluntary? He don't even probably need the mandatory to make that fight. That's if Jaime Munguia and his people cooperate. You know what I'm saying? But it is what it is. Junior middleweight. Junior middleweight. So it says there's the ongoing conversations with unified and ring champion Jermell Charlo and WBO titleist Brian Castano about a rematch. In the meantime, Sebastian Fundora and Sergio Garcia will meet on December 5th in an eliminator with the winner to face Erickson Lubin. So the way that all this is sounding is the mandatory to Charlo is going to be decided by the Fundora versus Garcia winner to face Erickson Lubin. So that's 2 fights. God damn. Erickson Lubin was hoping to get right back into contention more sooner than later. He been fighting his ass off. You know what I'm saying? Try to get that Charlo rematch. And then you telling me he got to wait damn near 2 fights? He got to wait for the Fundora and Garcia fight to be over. And then turn around, he got to fight the winner of that fight just to be named the mandatory. So he got to fight an eliminator from an eliminator, then become the mandatory. Lubin been fighting his ass off lately, man. Lubin been fighting his ass. Everybody they put in front of him, man. He been getting it done. He been getting it done. Whether he had to become aggressive, whether he got to be a chess match, whatever it worked, however it go. Him and Kevin Cunningham clicking. That's crazy, champ. Well, Lubin got to wait a little longer, man. Lubin got to wait a little longer. Welterweight. Title holder Errol Spence Jr. is medically cleared to fight, but the WBC is waiting on his plans. He has an IBF mandatory commitment to face mandatory Khadratilo Abdukokorov. It says that Neil Marsh, who manages the number 2 David Avanesian, asks that his fighter faces either WBC number 1 Virgil Ortiz or number 3 Jaron Boots Ennis. Let me stop right there. Now that should be music to the camps of Ennis and Virgil Ortiz. So Errol Spence Jr. has been cleared to fight from his eye situation. How bad was his eye situation? It couldn't have been that bad, could it? Fuck, he back so fast. I guess it wasn't that bad. But anyway, he's been cleared to fight from medically cleared to fight from his eye situation. They're waiting on his plans. That IBF situation still sits right there. I believe that Errol Spence Jr. comes back to that IBF situation if we're not talking about Ugas. Can't get away from it, fight fans. It's been there since 2019. He's made deal after deal. He got to get it out. He got to mop it up. If he don't got a unification fight, if it ain't Terence Crawford, if it ain't a Ugas, he ain't willing to drop the title. It ain't nobody like Keith Thurman stepping up, nothing like that. So I guess he figured when he come back, he going to go into this probably IBF mandatory. I mean, I ain't going to fault him for that. Get the shit out the way. I'm tired of this shit lingering around anyway. Get it out the way. You know what I mean? But the good news about this, like I say, Virgil Ortiz and Jaron Boots Ennis, it says that Eric Gomez of Golden Boy says that Ortiz will fight January the 22nd and then look to face Avanesian next for the mandatory position. This is why I just did the video, a week or so ago, when we said the timeline, the fastest route for Jaron Boots Ennis and Virgil Ortiz to a mandatory spot or to a title shot, the magic man is David Avanesian. And when I made that video, I specifically said if Eddie Hearn is smart, that he puts Conor Benn on a route to David Avanesian. Funny, since that video, that's what I've been hearing a lot. I've been hearing Eddie Hearn mention David Avanesian's name a lot. David Avanesian is the fucking money man, fight fans. I'm telling you. Because of his ranking amongst the sanctioning bodies. A win, given his rankings is so high in the sanctioning body, in different sanctioning bodies, a win over him will place any of these dudes at the top of the list. That's why David Avanesian is so important. And so listening to Golden Boy, they're saying that Virgil Ortiz is going to fight in January 22nd. And then he's going to look to face David Avanesian next. Jerron Boots Ennis and his people, if you are smart. I told y'all, when you get to this point in Jerron's career, it's going to take some political gamesmanship at this point. It's going to take some moves to be made. You need to grab David Avanesian. If Jerron Boots Ennis beat David Avanesian, they will have to have a mandatory discussion. I'm telling you. I'm telling you. If not, it may take him a bit longer. But this is the money man. And if Virgil get him first, Virgil going to be next in line for any champion. I'm telling you. I'm telling you. We just look at the boxing rankings and look at what David Avanesian is ranked. And just look at what Boots and Virgil is ranked. And imagine what a win over a dude as high rated as David Avanesian would do for their rankings. It would push them to mandatories. It would just push them there. So that's good shit, man. That's good shit. Junior welterweight, or 140. Josh Taylor will meet Jack Catterall on February the 26th, and he is then mandated to face Jose Zepeda, another top-ranked fighter. Funny. Man, look. See, this is that shit that Bob Arum be doing, man. He be lining up backup plans for these fighters just in case. Dog, are you gonna put Teofimo Lopez and Josh in a fight or what? Is Josh gonna move up to 147 and challenge Terence Crawford or something like that or what? I mean, look, all of this stuff going on for Josh. It's looking like Josh gonna end up facing Jack Catterall, which we understand y'all made a deal. The deal was in place. Y'all told him to step aside so you can allow the Ramirez fight. I understand that. But shit, man, Jose Zepeda, that's just a top-ranked in-house fight. And then I see Josh Taylor destroying Zepeda. Destroying him. Don't want to see that fight for real. Most importantly, what is Josh Taylor going to do? Because all of this running in place got to stop. Either you're going to fight another, because after Jack Catterall, it's got to be a Teo move, or it's got to be towards Bud Crawford. I thought my man Josh said he wanted to stay sharp. Not Jose Zepeda, but that's the WBC. And that sounds like Bob Arum written all over it. You know what I'm saying? Lightweight. Let's see. The lightweight division. There are many components. Oh, my gosh. Lightweight is going to be real confusing, I can bet. That's the same division that has Devin Haney in it, right? Lightweights. There are many components in this division. The ring champion and holder of the division's franchise title, Teofimo Lopez, will face George Kambosos Jr. on November the 27th. Devin Haney will face Jojo Diaz on December the 4th. And an eliminator was proposed by RCC Boxing Promotions that Zaul Abduliev face Jorge Linares. So basically, after saying all of those fights, no mandatory, in a nutshell. There ain't nobody that's the damn mandatory. That's basically what they saying. Everybody's tied up at this present moment, and we just don't have the energy to get involved in that and naming a mandatory. Period. You know what I'm saying? Let's see. Junior lightweight. Belt holder Oscar Valdez was mandatory challenger when he won the title, so no mandatory is due. Mauricio Suleiman proposed a tournament with number 2 Oshaki Foster to face number 3 some guy named Yakubadov or whatever in some eliminator. Okay, so basically Oscar Valdez has no mandatory. So a fight between him and Shakur Stevenson should happen. Ain't nobody trying to talk about no Navarrete. Ain't nobody trying to hear nothing like that. Him and Shakur Stevenson should go forward with no BS. He has no mandatory, fight fans. No mandatory. Featherweight. Title holder Gary Russell Jr. will face mandatory challenger Mark Magsayo in January, and then a second mandatory versus Ray Vargas. Now, normally with stuff like this, fight fans, I'd be like, screw all this, man. What's up with the 2 mandatory? But in my main man, Gary Russell Jr.'s case, fuck that. Give him 2 mandatories. Keep my man busy. This keeps him fighting. This keeps him in front of us. And not to mention, you know, Mark Magsayo, that's Manny Pacquiao's fighter. And Ray Vargas is a former champion at 122 pounds. He was supposed to face Gary Russell Jr., but I don't think he was all the way healthy when he had to come back. But he back now. And so now Gary Russell Jr. has 2 mandatories, fight fans. So we should be seeing Gary Russell Jr. a hell of a lot more. That's what's up. That's what's up. That's what's up. Bantamweight, Nonito Donaire will face interim titleist Raymart Gaballo on December the 11th. Jason Maloney and Nawafan Kawikana will fight an eliminator. Whatever, man. Whatever. Scared to put Nonito back in there with Rigo, man. Whatever. That's what I want to see. Why ain't Nonito Donaire chasing the fighter that took everything away from him when he was riding on so much momentum at that point in his career, named Guillermo Rigondeaux? When Rigondeaux act like a sensei master and boxed his face off, the man hit Nonito Donaire in the hand and made him hit himself. He hit Nonito Donaire in the hand, and Nonito Donaire hit himself in the face, fight fans. Why don't Donaire chase Guillermo Rigondeaux? What's up with that? I get it. You want Casemiro. I mean, that whole Casemiro thing and all that stuff. I get all that. But or you want the monster rematch. But why ain't you facing Rigo? I get it. Rigo lost to Casemiro, but Rigo still owns the victory over Nonito Donaire. And he act like Rigo don't even exist. But then again, the way Rigo was fighting in his last fight, who the hell want to face that, right? God damn. Now, let's see. One more in particular that I want to mention before we move on, man. And that's, where is it at, man? Did I overlook it? Where is it? Oh, ring champion Juan Francisco Estrada and Roman Chocolatito Gonzalez will meet for the franchise title. That hurts my heart. I get it, fight fans. It's a great fight. The WBC had to make a move to make this happen because Sor Rungvisai was in line to get his shot against the winner of their last fight, right? But they didn't have nothing to tell Sor Rungvisai. At the end of the day, I don't like franchise belts, man, but it's a damn good fight. It is an action-packed fight. And Sor Rungvisai been tied up with another good one in Carlos Quadras. They've all fought each other for years. These 4 right here, like the 4 kings, right? Like they all fight each other all the time. So now we got a franchise title to add into the mix. And Sor Rungvisai and Carlos Quadras will fight for the vacant WBC title. So those are some of the moves, fight fans, that the WBC has ordered as far as their upcoming mandatories. Still a lot of unfinished business with the Dillian Whyte situation. Still some unfinished business would look like the WBC 135, Teofimo Lopez, Devin Haney, and all that mess. Still, that situation needs some better clarity. And pretty much Errol Spence Jr. got cushion galore from the WBC to go off and do anything he want to do at this present moment. You dig? So that's the way it work out, man. What's up, man? Salute to the fam, man. Hope y'all enjoyed that little rundown right there of everything that is to come. I see everybody on deck. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. What's up, fam? Let me get to some comments, man, and then we're going to get to some more of these upcoming fights. You know what I'm saying? Coach Kennedy on deck. What's up, fam? Ain't no way Dillian got 300K in his last fight. Exactly. With 300,000 pounds. According to Frank Warren, he saying that was what was reported. I mean, like I said, how the hell he know Eddie Hearn business? How he know what they over there getting for real? Eddie don't share no books with no Frank Warren. Frank Warren don't have a clue what the hell Eddie probably over there paying his fighters. And like I said before, I mean, Dillian Whyte has been on pay-per-view how many times over there in the UK? I mean, I can't believe that. You know what I'm saying? I can't believe that. Yeah, man. Yeah, man. What's up, box fans? You say fight week, fight week. Yes, sir. D-Ray on deck. I see you, man. What's up, D-Ray? Chilling, man. Coach Kennedy says, didn't the WBC say the winner of Wilder versus Fury 3 fights Dillian? Yeah, but was that before or after Dillian lost? You know what I'm saying? When Dillian lost, he lost his mandatory spot. And when he won, they just named him the interim champion. They playing with words with this shit with Dillian. And I'm telling you, dog, and they know if, okay, we give Dillian the fight, which is what he wants. Fine, we'll give him the fight. But we're going to make sure that we offer him the fight at an offer where he going to hate it. He going to hate it. That's why Frank Warren running around, he turned down $4 or $5 million for Anthony Joshua. I'm trying to make it like that's the normal thing that Dillian Whyte do. You know what I'm saying? So it's fucked up. It's fucked up. You know what I'm saying? It's messed up, man. They roughing Dillian Whyte off. Bruce Goes, what's up, man? What's up, Bruce? I see you, man. Chilling, man. Salute to you, man. Salute to you. There you go, Muhammad Hamatola, man. What's up, family? Hey, Muhammad Hamatola, man. We read a little bit from your article earlier, and I will be dropping the link in my description so everyone can go over there and check it out, fam. Beautifully well-written article, man. Beautifully well-written article by the homie Muhammad Hamatola, man. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. D-Ray says lineal at 147. To me, all day. Hey, that's the next stop for Bud Crawford. The lineal stop. You know what I'm saying? Coach Kennedy, when it comes to Canelo, we can only blame the WBC. We can't blame Canelo anymore if the WBC is just helping him do whatever he wants. That's facts. That's facts. I mean, Canelo is just operating as the cash cow. Operating as the A side of boxing, right? He only can get away with you allow him to. WBC, granted, that shit so fat. They say Samson Lekowicz run up in there with his paperwork, and here come Eddie Reynoso right behind him. We got one to trump that. We gonna trump that. You know what I'm saying? That's crazy. Chief Fred Ford says, yo, we bout Canelo. That's what it stands for. That's exactly what it stands for. L-Dub, what's up, man? Chilling. What's up with my brother L-Dub boxing on deck, man? Salute to the encyclopedia of boxing. What's up, man? Chilling. Charlo versus Andrade should be the fight, says Chief Fred 4. That's a good fight, man. It should be the fight. I would never say that they shouldn't fight. Them two should definitely make it happen. But like I always say, you know, it's easy to throw them two under the bus and say that they should be fighting each other. But the facts of the matter is they are on two separate networks. And normally two networks that don't always do business. So they do have somewhat of a political impasse. Now, Andrade versus Golovkin or Andrade versus Billy Joe Saunders or one of them I don't see why we can't make that happen. You feel what I'm saying? I don't see why we can't make that happen. And in Charlo's case, we need to be talking more about Charlo and Benavidez, if anything. Or maybe Charlo and a Plant. I would love for Charlo and Andrade to happen, but ain't no side got the political will to make it happen. In this frozen time of boxing, like, you know, everyone want to keep the dollars in house. Nobody ain't making fights like that happen. But there's no reason why we don't get Andrade versus Canelo, Andrade versus Golovkin, and the rest of them cats, and we don't get Charlo versus a Benavidez or Charlo versus a Plant. See, that's why I don't be rocking with Charlo like that no more. Talked all that shit about Benavidez. Benavidez, call your bluff. That's why I want Benavidez to get the fight now. Called your bluff. He's the mandatory now. He called Charlo's bluff. Benavidez put it out there himself. He even took Canelo's kind of guidance on it. Like, look, me and you can fight it out and the winner get Canelo. That's what Canelo want, right? Well, Benavidez put that out there. Benavidez literally said, look, I'll fight whoever I got to fight, and the winner we get Canelo. Y'all got to understand, Benavidez wants all of the smoke, all of it. He's willing to do whatever it takes. You know what I'm saying? So it is what it is. Salute to the homie Sub Skrilla in the super chat, man. Thank you for the support for the channel, family. Much love, man. Much love. Hey, main man, off topic, but just wondered what your earliest boxing memory and memories are. Keep up the good work, my G. Damn. That is a great question. Earliest boxing memories. One of my earliest boxing memories is meeting Sugar Ray Leonard as a child. You know, I'm from D.C. So Sugar, back in the day when Sugar was in the 80s, like Sugar was Sugar. I remember when there was a boxing gym in the neighborhood that I grew up in. And Sugar came to that gym around Kenilworth. Sugar popped up in there one day. And I remember all of us, we were just kids. At the time, I had to be about, 5, 6 years old, man. And I ran up to Sugar Ray Leonard. He was just in there. Wasn't no bodyguards. You know, he from the city. He was just moving around the city at that time. And he was in the gym, just in the gym talking to some people. We ran up to Sugar Ray. He talked to us, made a little fist with us, hit us on the face a little bit. He was cool in the game. Perhaps maybe the first boxer I ever met, Sugar Ray Leonard. That's my earliest, just the way he walked in, his swag, everything about him. You know what I'm saying? I was a kid at the time. And back then, that's all around in the DMV area, the DC area, Sugar was a legend. You know what I'm saying? So to meet him, to actually see him in person, yeah, that's probably my earliest boxing memory that I can think of, fam. Meeting Sugar Ray Leonard. That was good shit. You know what I'm saying? Real spill. Muhammad Tola says, Crawford is about to introduce himself properly to the PBC. Hello, how you doing? Over here all day. It's about to be that time, fight fans. It's about to be that time. Let's get to it real quick, man. Just let me mention one more thing before we get to the Crawford talk. If I can, I want to bring this up. This heavyweight showdown at PBC is announced. I know y'all heard the details coming out about this, man. Y'all hear that Charles Martin versus Luis Ortiz going down on pay-per-view, fight fans. On pay-per-view. I'm sorry. Can't do it. I mean, well, then again, I have to do it, right? I mean, I'm main man. I got to cover it, blah, blah, blah. But just the fan point of view. Pay-per-view money for this is a good fight. Don't get me wrong. I'm not knocking the fight. But this fight should be on TV. This fight, the whole card should be on TV. I get it. They making a discounted rate. It's only $30, man. Stop being cheap. It ain't even about that, bro. Like, is boxing getting so fucking arrogant that they can throw us anything on pay-per-view now? These are not like big name fighters. Like, I wouldn't even know what kind of numbers this would do on regular TV. Better yet, pay-per-view. $30 or not. So I don't get the logic. It's a decent fight. I favor Luis Ortiz. I like Charles Martin. I like both of these cats for real. You know what I'm saying? I like what they're doing with their careers. They're trying to keep themselves busy. Though Charles Martin had that little minor setback with Adam Kalnaki. But I still think one thing I respect about Charles Martin at this point in his career is, once again, his receptiveness, his ability to try to get better, dust himself off and get back in the ring with some of the best names of the division. Charles Martin ain't ran away from nobody. And I got to respect that. You know what I'm saying? I think he'll fight anybody you put him in the ring. Put him in there with Deontay Wilder, Charles Martin get up in there. Look at that. He fighting the boogeyman. No one wants to fight Luis King Kong Ortiz. Nobody wants to fight him. So salute to Charles Martin. It's a dumbass fight. I think Charles Martin going to get his ass whooped. The tricky Cuban southpaw right here, he's been waiting on an opportunity like this. He sits high in the WBC, I think, as well, too. So Luis Ortiz this is a good fight to keep his name in the mix if he can get this win. Charles Martin, a win over Luis Ortiz, totally revives his career. Walk this earth like a god. Totally revives the god's career. But he's been getting a little better, still slow, still a little sloppy. Still stamina can be a little better, but he a big dude. Still, he can crack. Charles is willing to commit. I mean, he got in there and fought Joshua years and years ago like a little sucker. But I truly believe since then, like, I don't know if he had some sort of epiphany or he smoked so much drugs that something clicked in his head. But since he's came back, he fights with much more heart now. He's willing to stand in there and trade with these dudes. He's getting better. He's willing to go to different gyms and different trainers to try to get better at this portion of his career. I respect Charles Martin. I think he got an uphill battle with Luis Ortiz. I think Luis Ortiz is going to outbox him, be too strong for him, and I think he's going to stop Charles Martin. But I think it's going to be entertaining. But at the end of the day, man, to pay for this on pay-per-view, though, fight fans, it's some arrogant shit. PBC going real hard with this one. Real hard. I mean, real hard. Let me see here. Hold on. I got some reporting on this. I mean, he going real hard with this. They going real hard. So according to the reporting, the new year will kick off with a heavyweight bang. 5 exciting heavyweight matchups that take center stage on Fox Sports PBC pay-per-view on New Year's Day. On New Year's Day. Damn, they want to charge you pay-per-view money on New Year's Day. They starting the year off trying to force us to pay for some pay-per-view. That's crazy. That is crazy. The main event will see heavyweight Luis King Kong Ortiz take on former world champion Charles Martin in the 12-round IBF heavyweight title eliminator. So they're rolling down the IBF route with this. Either way it slice it, I mean, all of those belts are around Usyk's waist right now, right? So this could be just PBC putting their guys into certain positions in other sanctioning bodies. I can see that. They already got Deontay Wilder in the number 1 spot. You got Andy Ruiz right up under him. I can see Andy Ruiz and Deontay Wilder coming to a collision course real soon to decide some sort of mandatory over at the WBC. I can see that happening. And now you lining up PBC fighters in the IBF. So, and they're fighting eliminators. So PBC is just playing chess right here. If Luis Ortiz gets past Charles Martin, he's sitting at the top of the charts in the IBF. Now sitting on the heels of Alexander Usyk or whomever else may have them titles. PBC playing chess. PBC playing chess. So there's also other fighters on this card. It says that you got heavyweight star Frank the Cuban Flash Sanchez will square off against Puerto Rican Carlos Negron in a 10-round fight. Okay. It's nothing. Nothing to talk about. Now, this is interesting. Michael Coffey in a 10-round rematch for former challenger, in a 10-round rematch with Jonathan Rice. Now, I remember that fight. Hold on. I remember that fight. Michael Coffey and Jonathan Rice. I remember that fight. Jonathan Rice came into that fight 6 losses, winning their Buster Douglas style. 3-4 piece combinations, long combinations from the outside. Piecing up Michael Coffey. Michael Coffey, up-and-coming contender, riding a bit of a hype train. A lot of people was high on Michael Coffey. He's seeming explosive and fast against a lot of the opponents that he's been facing. He got up in here and was getting clocked with right hand after right hand. Had a flat performance in this particular fight. This was the flattest performance I ever seen Michael Coffey fight. And though he's a tough Marine, tough to go down, got pummeled in this fight by a guy with 6 losses. Jonathan Rice has his biggest win of his entire career over Michael Coffey. So they running that back. Interesting. This kid from South Carolina. I remember the speech that Jonathan Rice gave after this fight. And he gave a real inspiring speech about never giving up and never, people giving up on you. He had 6 losses, fight fans. No one thought this was a short notice opponent. No one thought that Johnny Rice had a chance of going in. They thought he was going to last 3 rounds and get knocked out. He went in there, like I say, Buster Douglas style. Remember how Buster Douglas was putting those combinations on Tyson and he was riding his punches through? Like he was riding them through, putting his whole shoulders into him. That's how Jonathan Rice was hitting Michael Coffey. But to Coffey's credit, he didn't go down. The ref stepped in and stopped it after taking such a beating, but didn't go down. Tough cookie. But he got his ass whooped. And then in a rematch, who knows? Styles make fights. Jonathan Wright's confidence got to be through the roof right now. After getting a win like that, everyone counted you out, that does something to your confidence. Sometimes, in a lot of cases, makes fighters a much better fighter. So they're giving Michael Coffey another shot. You better make the most of it, homeboy. You better make the most of it. Because if not, your ass going back to scratch. Your ass going back to scratch. Now, every fighter hit a bump in the road on their way to the top. The question is, how do you bounce back? And that lets us know if you belong here. Because if you don't bounce back, you don't belong here, period. Simple as that. You're too young. It's too early. You ain't gotten even nowhere near the top yet, man. You know? So we'll see. I like Michael Coffey. He's explosive, but he was hyped. He was hyped, and he ain't fighting nobody. Now, to his credit also, this was a short notice opponent. Maybe he wasn't properly prepared for this Cat Rice. So we'll see in the rematch. We'll see in the rematch. It's hard to say if I'll just say it's a 50-50 fight. I'm not going to lean one way or the other. I just want to say I'll see. I'll wait and see. Michael Coffey got to show me, does he at least have the bounce back ability, the ability to find the answer. This is a prospect to a certain degree, so we still was learning. So this is something that we got to learn. Does he have the ability or the wherewithal to bounce back? To be like great fighters before him have done. The many fighters hit a bump in the road. Not willing to term out and say he's a bum or nothing like that over a bump on the road. It happens, especially on short notice fights. Cool. But do you bounce back? That's the question. You know what I'm saying? So we'll see, man. Still ain't worth no damn $30, fight fans. Still ain't worth no damn $30. I mean, look, man, this dude beat Michael Coffey from the outside, bro. Like, he was plucking Coffey with that jab. Coffey was trying to do the shoulder roll. He was just landing the right hand over top of the shoulder. And like I say, Coffey, he was flat. He wasn't punching nearly as much. It wasn't nearly as explosive. It was just a flat performance from him. So give him the benefit of the doubt, and we'll see. We'll see. We'll see. G. Benson says the first fight that I ever watched was the Thriller in Manila. Hey, you got shit. That was a hell of a fight to welcome, bro. I can't recall the first fight I ever watched. That's tough, but I can recall one of my earliest boxing memories, man. But hey, if that's the first fight you ever watched, what an introduction to the sport of boxing, right? Charles Stevenson says, man, I'm glad about Canelo's move. Now the rest of the chasers have to fight each other instead of just sitting and waiting on Canelo. No integrity. I hear you, man. But why doesn't Canelo have that same type of thing for everybody else? Why does he got to make these dudes fight each other? Why didn't he make Callum Smith fight David Benavidez or something like that? Why does he wait till when the road gets rough, when the waters get rough, then it's, oh, I want to play commissioner now. But when the waters were easy, you wanted to just flow through the class. I'm just saying, man, y'all got to keep that in mind. That's a reason for that. Now that David Benavidez made his mandatory, now all of a sudden he running the cruiserweight. And then he asked the WBC to let him do it so he knows he has their protection. Oh, well, yeah. And as long as we're letting you to go up there, we're not going to make David fight you. It got to stop, man. You got to fight the best, man. You got to fight the best. That's just the way it works. So we're going to move on, man. We're going to move on to this last particular subject, man. And I think y'all know where we going with it. Bye, y'all. Let's make it happen. Bye, y'all. Look at that. Look at that look in his eye. Look at that look in his eye. See, I chose this picture for a reason. You know what I'm saying? Let me tell y'all the reason. Because after watching today's press conference, that final press conference, right? Hold on. The final press conference. So after watching that final press conference today, I got a funny vibe from Shawn. It's almost like Shawn. Sorry, fight fans. My dog. I'm sorry. It's almost like Shawn. I don't know. It's almost like he's almost uncomfortable. This look that you see in this picture is the look that I see in Shawn Porter's eyes at these events. Like he's not comfortable where he's at, He's not comfortable being around ESPN. He just doesn't seem hungry like that. It seems like he's being more of a showman. It's like he's more convinced on being a showman and selling. That's more, he's more doing that than seem like having a hunger for the actual fight. That's just the vibe that I'm getting from Shawn. I want to give a hearty salute to Shawn for showing up at the press conference in the Porter Purple. Did y'all see that? Did y'all see Shawn show up in the Porter Purple, fight fans? Y'all thought I was tripping, didn't y'all? He showed up in a purple suit. Porter Purple has arrived. Shawn know what's up. And the feeling that I got at that thing is just that Shawn is just out of it, bro. He seems to just to be like uncomfortable to a certain, somehow, some way, it's some sort of uncomfortability there with Shawn. I don't know if it's the fact that he's being forced to face his friend. I don't know if it's the fact that he got his daddy right there and he's just sick and tired of dealing with his daddy. I don't know if maybe he just sick and tired of the fight. I don't know, but it's something ain't sitting right with Shawn. Shawn Porter, it just seems a little uneasy to me. That's just what I'm getting. You know what I'm saying? That's just what I see. That's just what I see. Now, the thing is, we're going to call this fight in the ring. We did all of the talking we needed to do. You know what I mean? We did it all. First off, let me just say salute once again to Shawn Porter for taking this fight. Because it's sad as hell that everyone over there ducked for so long that it literally, Terence Crawford literally has to fight his buddy. He has to fight. He got to develop the killer instinct. You see that look in his eye. He got to develop that against his buddy. All because everybody else over there ducked. It's a damn shame. It really is. So I want to give a major salute to Shawn Porter. We put Shawn Porter through a lot in this build-up. You know what I'm saying? And I really, to a certain degree, feel a little bad doing it because I like Shawn Porter. And Shawn Porter is a hell of a fighter. And he's going to have a hell of a legacy as well. So I want to take time to give Shawn Porter his respect and say it's really messed up that it came to this. Because like both of these men have said throughout this whole build-up, they never expected to fight each other. They never thought about it. It never even crossed their mind. But Danny didn't want to fight. Keith didn't want to fight. Earl didn't want to fight. And the only one that was left was this man, and he is the only one, just like he's done his entire career. With everybody they put him in the ring with, win, lose, or draw. Shawn has gotten in that ring, and this is why a lot of boxing fans like Shawn Porter, win, lose, or draw, because you respect his effort. And I ain't mad at that shit. I ain't mad at that shit at all. So let me just say that about Shawn Porter, man. Now, 1 second, hold on. Oh, me and these me and my chargers today, bro. They just one device goes out, the other one ain't going out. You know what I'm saying? Hold on, fight fans. We're gonna get to this prediction. I just want to make sure I see y'all comments. So, how is this fight going to go, man? Now, you've talked about everything from their legacies to their resumes to their Hall of Fame to the implications, blah, 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 blah. What is going to happen in this fight? This is going to be a monumental fight fans. All questions answered, first and foremost. All questions answered. So, I guess the question I got is, who is the more physically stronger fighter here for real? I know a lot of y'all see Shawn Porter and y'all say he works on the inside and he mauls and he brawls, but Shawn Porter, except from the lower level, the B level, he don't ragdoll nobody. Like, he don't ragdoll nobody. Like, Danny Garcia seemed like he was more physically stronger than Shawn, truth be told. Because Shawn was backing off of Danny Garcia's power. Danny was doing so much damage on the inside with his body work. It kept Shawn at bay. It kept Shawn backing up. When Shawn senses power or senses too much strength, he becomes much more cautious. He don't jump in there as much. He starts to work his feints. He got to look for his openings to get in there. And most importantly, he don't tussle as much. But he's never ragdolling nobody. He ain't never... Kell Brook was able to hold Shawn Porter with a 1-2 hold. Now, I ain't saying Shawn ain't physically strong. I'm asking who is the more physically stronger fighter between these two. Now, they say Terence Crawford like to wrestle. He got a wrestling background, man. Got a wrestling background. I've seen Terence Crawford tussle on the inside with bigger men than Jeff Horn. Literally stronger and just throwing them around like a little rag doll. Do we perceive Shawn Porter to be the physically stronger man? Is Bud really the physically stronger man, fight fans? Because that makes a huge difference in the way Shawn Porter fights. When he went up against the physically stronger man, Danny, he fought different. When he went up against the physically stronger man in Ugas, he fought different. He didn't fight Ugas the way he fought Keith. See, we got to stop blanking in Shawn Porter's performances with everyone. Shawn Porter's been beat in many different ways. And most importantly, he's had to win in different ways. Like, he couldn't do the same thing to everybody. Like, it's no way in hell that he's going to, if y'all think that he's going to run through Terence Crawford or be fit or manhandle Terence Crawford in any way on the inside, y'all tripping. Shawn only does that to weaker opponents or guys who maybe are very mobile or something like that. But someone who's just as strong and is willing to meet him on those same grounds, he don't do that. Y'all better go watch his fights. He don't do that. Shawn has never bullied and ragdolled pretty much anyone on the top floor. So when I ask who is the physically stronger man, do we know for a fact that Shawn Porter is the physically stronger man? Do we know that for a fact? I don't think we do. I don't think we do. Now, Shawn is a workhorse. Some of the good stuff that he do, simple. He's a workhorse. He makes you think. He keeps you occupied. He stays on top of you. He punches and bunches. He does this wonderful combination where he pops that jab twice, lets the right hand go, which usually gets him to the inside, and then he starts to unleash hooks upstairs and downstairs in chopping fashion. Shawn is a workhorse, man. He's always working. Even when he decides to box, he's bouncing at the rhythm. He's bouncing on his toes. He's feinting you, looking for that way in. Always, if you're a strong and powerful fighter or a big puncher, Shawn don't just run in. He's feinting, waiting to go in. I remember Kenny Porter asking Shawn, like, what are you waiting on against Danny Garcia? And he like, I can't rush in there just right now because he's too strong. So I'm fighting him at a slower pace because I got to slow him down. Shawn don't jump in there willy-nilly against harder, stronger punches or physically stronger men. He just don't do it. But most importantly, Shawn is a workhorse. He keeps his opponent occupied and he keeps them thinking. They gotta make their next move the best move. Are you gonna use your legs? Are you gonna slip and dip on Shawn? You better make the next move the best move, and you better think fast. Shawn normally doesn't give you chances to think. Normally. Unless you slow him down. Shawn is a combination puncher. That's one of the most beautiful things about Shawn Porter. Whether you push him on the back foot or he coming forward, he gonna always swing in combinations. He's not a pot shotter. He's never been a pot shotter. He's not a Floyd Mayweather, pot you from the outside and hit you with a jab to the stomach. No, he is, once he hits you with the jab, it's pop, 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 pop. He come in with 2, 3, 4s every single time. He's hoping you kind of shell up and trying to slip his punches. That's what he wants. That allows him to get off. And he's going to throw 4, 5, 6 helmets. He's going to do it every single time. You push him back. He's backing on the back foot. The way he beat Danny mostly was on the back foot. Danny was trying to come forward and walk forward. Porter come back, was on the back foot and unleash a combination. Bang, 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 bang on Danny. And you know, Danny keeps his hands close looking for that one shot, the punch between the punches. But Porter he'll back up, shaking his shoulders, moving in his rhythm. Bing, 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 bing. Let 3, 4 go on Danny. Move. He beat Danny moving in combination punching. changing the pace up on him. You know what I'm saying? Changing the pace up on him. So that's the good thing about Shawn Porter, bruh. A straight up combination puncher. You know what I'm saying? Shawn do this little move where he dips and throws the hook. Dips, throws the hook. Nobody does it better. That's his like signature move. Dip. So when you throw that jab, dip, and he going downstairs. Dip, he going downstairs. And normally 2, 3, 4 punches. Dip, hook downstairs. Dip, hook downstairs. 2, 3, 4 of them. That's Shawn Porter. Workhorse. This is why he's such a fan favorite to a lot of people, believe it or not. Because of his style is just of a workhorse. It's something to watch. He's always doing something. There's always something to see with Shawn Porter. You know what I'm saying? Such a workhorse. But he does that dip and hook, man. Crazy. Good footwork. Very good footwork. Very good footwork. Covers the ground fast. Covers a lot of real estate in an instant. Very good footwork. Very good conditioning. Very good conditioning. Shawn Porter, he may take some times off throughout the fight, but he ain't taking more time off than you. And he's never been really questioned conditioning wise. When he came in tipping the scales a little while ago when they had to cut the braid, remember he had to cut the braid? I ain't really, he been at 147 his whole goddamn career, so I guess it was bound to happen. But for the most part, Shawn Porter, man, he keeps his weight intact. He don't blow up in weight, don't live a unhealthy lifestyle from what I've seen. And that's one of the best things you can say about Shawn Porter is his conditioning and his footwork. Those are some of his best. It's just his athleticism in general. It's second to none. You know what I'm saying? Second to none. Body attack. Second to none. That's the best thing that he do is his body attack. 5, 6, 7 punches at a time to the body. You better hope to absorb some of them shits. But he can hit you. He hits more cleaner to the body than he does to the head. That's just a fact, Jack. He hits more cleaner to the body than he does to the head, which is something he needs to take in mind for this fight. If Shawn is smart, you work the body, bruh. Shawn, as a body puncher, is accurate as hell. He does his best work as a body puncher. It leads him to connect better upstairs when he's so successful downstairs. And he's a dynamic body attacker. He attacks the body like nobody's business. And he attacks it with vigor. Like when he flicks that jab and that right hand, he gets to the inside and he starts flinging them hooks. When he go downstairs, I mean, he pushing his whole shoulders into him. He throwing uppercuts. He like to throw them uppercuts on the inside. A lot of those. Like those shots right there, those are his most potent shots. His most potent shots is the uppercuts and the hooks on the inside to the body. It's not his head work, it's his body work. Whenever he starts to bust up guys on the B and C level, after he beats their body in, they're dropping their hands. I mean, he starts to tee off on them upstairs. That's how he beats those guys. But a more elite fighter, a more stronger fighter, well, they can last a bit longer with Shawn. But them lower tier, they can't stand up to this man's body attack, man. But his body attack is second to none. More accurate to the body than he is to the head, man. Now, what is some of the bad with Shawn Porter? Shawn feels power. Like I said, it makes him cautious. It turns him into a boxer. He gets reduced. He reduces himself. And the way that Shawn Porter, when he gets reduced to a boxer, he's mostly successful when he's on the back foot. This is what I was telling people before. People jumping on Shawn and saying, yeah, he'll get outboxed by Terence Crawford if he becomes a boxer, which I do agree. But I believe it's his more better chance. When Shawn backs, and if he can lure his opponent to back him up, Shawn is explosive off the back foot. I'm telling y'all, that's one of his most underrated qualities. When he turns into a boxer, he doesn't box well coming forward. He boxes well going backwards because he has pretty good hand speed. And like I say, he's a combination puncher. So when he backing up and he gets someone coming forward, he can set a trap. He sets traps. He's much more better as a boxer in that fashion. That is nothing that Terence Crawford is going to give him. Terence Crawford is not going to let him fall back on the back foot and fight in rhythm like that. It's just not going to happen. That's what Danny did. Danny's flat-footed. Danny couldn't move out of the way of Shawn Porter's combination while trying to walk Shawn Porter down. Bud can. But Shawn is really good off boxing off the back foot, man. You know what I'm saying? But when he feels power, he gets reduced to a boxer. And if you reduce him to a boxer, his defense goes down. His defense goes down. Because he gets touched coming forward, trying to work his way in as a boxer. Like if he's not working his way in, trying to be aggressive, then that's when he kind of gets to the inside and do something. But when he's trying to get there as a boxer and trying to box and move, he gets touched. He gets touched with counter shots. Ugas sat there and counted him all night by him trying to do that. Another problem with Shawn Porter, he gets hit between punches. A lot. I told you Shawn Porter's been beat in different ways. Keith beat him by beating him to the punch. Keith beat him by beating him to the punch and used movement. Ugas beat him by being a better counter, or should have beat him, should I say, by being a counter puncher and welcoming Shawn Porter to the inside and showing he's the bigger, stronger, and harder puncher, which he did. He pushed Shawn Porter back, dropped Shawn Porter. Errol beat Shawn Porter at fighting Shawn Porter at his game, the mano-a-mano fight. He was beating that game. Kell Brook beat Shawn Porter on a patient game. 1-2 hold, 1-2 hold. He contained the aggression of Shawn Porter. So Shawn Porter's been beat in many different ways. He's been beat to the punch. He's been beat in patient ways. He's been outboxed. And he's been out-brawled or out-mano-a-manoed. That's what happened on the top floor. Shawn gets clipped between punches is his biggest downfall. Shawn gets caught into what he's doing. He gets to trying to chop people down, and he gets clipped with left hook central all night. Keith did it. Danny did it all night. That was Danny's best punch landed the entire fight, was the left hook. Errol Spence Jr. dropped him with a left hook. Earl was trying that left hook all fight until it landed perfectly. Go back and watch it. Adrian Bronner drops him on a left hook. The left hook is always landing on Shawn Porter. Why Danny did so much damage to Porter? Because he was landing the left hook, and that's Danny's best shot. That's why I took so much out of Shawn Porter. But susceptible to that left hook, and he gets clipped between punches like nobody's business. Most fighters, that's what I say, you can weather the storm with Shawn Porter on the inside. You can slip and dip him and tag him. That's what Keith was doing. Keith was slipping and dipping him, not going mano-a-mano with him, but slipping and dipping him and boom, tagging him with a cleaner shot. Because all that shit Shawn be doing, he don't land nearly as clean on you as you land on him. Shawn get hit with much more cleaner shots. And the one clean shot does much more damage than Shawn's smothering shots or grazing shots or absorb shots. The one or two clean ones that you land on him does much more damage than all that shit that he doing. That's how Keith was tussling with him on the inside. People got this thing like people got to go back and forth with Shawn. That's why I say Bud Crawford is not a big body puncher like that. He don't have to go to Shawn's, but all he got to do is slip him and tag him on the inside upstairs, which I think he can do. Because Shawn has been getting tagged so consistently by everybody upstairs when they slipping him. He gets hit between punches. He's too fixated on what he's doing. And when he gets so fixated on all that chopping and all them wide punches, he gets clipped in the midst of that shit every time. Every time. So he gets clipped between punches, man. It's just something that maybe some say is due to his wide punches or whatever the case may be. Could be. But he gets clipped every single time. Every single time. He can't gather power on the inside nearly as well. He got to chop you down. He tries to chop you down, but he don't chop nobody down. He just chopped the lower tier down. He ain't chopped Keith down. Didn't chop Ugas down. Didn't chop Earl down. Didn't chop Kell down. Couldn't chop these dudes down. Because on the inside, he's not as nearly as strong. He ain't getting much on those punches. And he's a small dude himself. He's a short, little, stocky little dude. And when he comes in, he like to come in low. And when he come in, he gets clipped with those left hooks. But he ain't generating much power on the inside, fight fans. I don't know what people getting that from. He ain't generating shit. He can try to overwhelm you and try to keep you occupied, but as far as power, no, he ain't generating much on the inside. He just don't. I mean, Shawn don't get a lot of credit for that. I mean, from me for that. I'm sorry, he just don't get a lot of credit from me with that. He can't gather power on the inside. And one of his biggest flaws is he's inaccurate. He's an inaccurate puncher. If he throws 6 punches, maybe 2 lands. If he throws 9 punches, maybe 3 lands. Very inaccurate. Maybe because he's trying to put so much into it. I don't know. But it makes him inaccurate. And that's just something that's been with Shawn throughout of his career. He just can't get away from it. Some say it's because he's smothering his own work. Some say he's too close. Some say he don't judge distance well. I don't know what it is, but he's inaccurate. Only time he's accurate is on these lower tier guys that are stationary. But he's inaccurate, unfortunately. But it's just who he is as a fighter. It's who he is. Let's look at Terence Crawford. Terence Crawford, what does he do good? The best thing that he does more than anything is make adjustments. Everybody say download, execute, or download, process, execute, right? Well, if that's the case, download, process, execute, that comes with adjustments needed to be made. Nobody makes better adjustments on the fly than Terence Bud Crawford. Once he gets that rhythm down, once he gets your range down, once he see what style of fighting that you're fighting, he adjusts his style to that. Whether it be needing the right hand, needing the left hand, whether it needs lateral movement or just movement in general. Whether he's down to go mano a mano with you. Some say, well, Bud Crawford gets hit and he got to go get the hit back. That's mentally debilitating. That's mentally damaging to a fighter that gives their best to someone and have someone come right back at him and don't stop and turn it up another level. Do y'all know what that do to some of them cats that Crawford is facing when y'all say he do that? It's mentally damaging at the same time as physically damaging. Because these fighters are looking like, damn, I just gave him my best just now. Aegis Kalvalauskas had to be sitting there like, man, I hit him and dropped him. But he ain't gone no damn way. That's mental. And he's bringing the fight to me. That's fucking with your mental. It may some people believe it's going to be Crawford's downfall one day. One day. As of now, it's mentally wiping out his opponents. They're not winning another second of another round. Nothing. So I don't know. Maybe that does something to him, man. I don't know. Switch hitter. Switch hitter. Just as good with the southpaw as he is as an orthodox. I believe, my belief is that's Terence Crawford's secret weapon. You know what I mean? I believe that it is a killer style, man. It's that style. I mean, it's wicked, man. I mean, it's one of the oldest tricks in the book, but in today's fighting age, it's so effective. And that is the orthodox fighter that fights as a southpaw. Making the jab be the strong hand. Making the jab be the power hand. The jab is the most consistent landed punch in any boxing match. When you are an orthodox fighter and you making that jab be the power shot, that's the X factor right there. You beating up people with a jab. People can't realize why he getting knockouts. Why he knocking everybody out. He ain't doing nothing super spectacular. Yeah, his strong hand is beating them up majority of the fight. And a lot of boxing fans may be used to just seeing the jab for touching purposes or measuring purposes or to lead into a combination or to help a fighter get to the inside or whatever the case. But you're not thinking about the dynamic of what if this jab has damn near the same power as a right hand. And it's being landed much more consistently. That's one of the many tools that Terence Crawford carry. And it's a dynamic thing, man. It's a dynamic style. I'm seeing more and more fighters do this. I'm seeing more and more fighters do this. Shakur's another one. More and more fighters do this. People look at Shakur and say, how's he getting stopped? Shakur does it. Shakur fights southpaw, but he's an orthodox fighter. He's an orthodox person, right-handed fighter. It's a secret weapon that I believe that has been the key to a lot of Terence Crawford's success. People may catch on eventually, but the fact that he is beating up opponents with the right hand as the jab hand, and they are taking most of the damage from the jab. That's why Kell Brook got knocked halfway across the ring. People say, how did it happen with a jab / hook or whatever the fuck that was? Because it's his strong hand. You know what I'm saying? Switch hitter. Good jab, man. But X factor of a style. A lot of heart on Terence Crawford. A lot of heart. People say Gamboa rocked him. You know, people say Kowalowskis rocked him. He didn't go down. He didn't give up. He didn't stop. He kept going. He turned it up to another level. A lot of heart. Willing to run into the burning building. I like the heart of Terence Crawford. You know what I'm saying? Mixture of skill and power. A major mixture of not brawling and not just squarely fighting on instinct or heart. No, a mixture of skill and power. I mean real power. I mean KO power. I mean he is a knockout artist. A knockout Picasso. This is what he do. It's another day at the office. Some of these cats ain't seen a knockout in so long. When they get one, they're going to throw a celebration in the ring. This is an everyday occurrence for this man. He's expecting to knock someone out. He's expecting it. Knockout artist. Rhythm fighter. Fights in a great rhythm. Shawn Porter does too. Terence Crawford fights at a rhythm. Once he download and process you and he feels comfortable and he starts teasing you and toying with you, he's in rhythm. And when he gets in that rhythm, it's over. It's over. Rhythm fighter, like that. Mentally breaks fighters in the ring. Period. And that comes from the turning up to the next level when you think you've hit him with your best shot. And you can't understand how the hell does he keep coming when you gave him everything. Mentally broke you. Next thing you know, you looking up. You know what I'm saying? The only bad thing that I see on Terence Bud Crawford is that left hand curries low. That's all. Gets touched over top of that left hand too much for my liking. But that's just it. It is what it is. That's the only flaw that I really see. He gets touched with the over top of that left hand. The left hand drops a little too low at times, and some fighters see it and they touch Terence Crawford when he do it. But that's his biggest flaw. Drops the left hand too low at times. Keep the left hand up. When he switches to southpaw, it drops. So keep it up. That's it. So how is this fight going to go? After all that we know about these two fighters, how do I think that this fight is going to go? It's simple. Y'all been hearing me speak about this fight for weeks. Y'all think shit going to change now? Let's get the prediction out the way right now, shall we? Mainman Mademan calls it right here. Terence Crawford stops Shawn Porter. He gonna stop Shawn Porter in 10 rounds. He gonna stop deer in the headlights, non-hungry, uncomfortable, worrying about showmanship and selling. Shawn Porter gonna get stopped. I do not believe that this is the Shawn Porter from the Keith Thurman fight. I do not believe that this is the Shawn Porter from the Errol Spence Jr. fight. I think this is a different Shawn Porter that's ready to check out. I thought I was joking with that, but I mean it. I think Shawn is at the end of the road. I think Shawn feel like he's giving his all. And Shawn at this point is thinking about the other side of the fight game. And that's what's going to happen there. I do truly believe Shawn is right there. But how this is going to go in the ring? I think that Shawn will start out opening early. Typical Shawn Porter. A lot of people say he should rush Bud Crawford early and make him uncomfortable. Don't give him a chance to think. Don't give him a chance to do this and do that. Y'all gotta understand that that's not who Shawn is. Once Shawn feels Bud's power and strength, he is not going to just jump on Bud Crawford. It's not going to happen. Shawn takes too much incoming fire, and he'll be worried about that incoming fire from a knockout artist. Shawn has yet to face a knockout artist. And he's going to deal with incoming fire from a knockout artist. It's going to reduce Shawn Porter. I think Shawn is going to come out patient, to be honest with you. I think he's going to come out trying to see what Bud is going to give him. I think by round 2 or 3, Bud is flicking the jab and he's fighting an outside fight, using the jab in the left hand. Jab in the left hand. He's beating Shawn up with the jab. Shawn is attempting to box Bud at this point in the first 2 rounds. But Bud is beating him to the punch with the jab, forcing Shawn and Kenny Porter to get much more emotional and yelling at Shawn and telling Shawn to turn it up a level. I think by round 3, Shawn turns into old Shawn and attempts to make Bud uncomfortable and get to the inside and do the mauling and the brawling and thing. I think we're in round 3 when that starts. I think that Shawn Porter's getting tagged coming in, mauling and brawling. I think Shawn Porter is very ineffective on the inside with Terence Crawford. I think Terence Crawford is tying up Shawn Porter on the inside, not going back and forth with him. I think it's more similar to what we saw with Kell Brook. I think we slipping and dipping and tying up Shawn Porter, letting him exert all the energy in the world, resetting him, pushing him off, doing it all over again, giving him incoming fire. It starts to build up on Shawn Porter. By round 5, round 6, Shawn Porter's thinking about just running to the inside so willy-nilly now. He's being out-muscled, and he's getting tagged coming in. He reduced to a boxer at this point. He starts to box, to do on the outside thing that he normally does. At this point, Shawn Porter would then be pushed on the back foot, where I believe he'll start to have success. Round 6, round 7, Shawn is boxing now on the back foot. Bud Crawford is hungry. He's going after Shawn, but he's running in a combination punching. Shawn is keeping Bud at bay for rounds 6 and 7, keeping him at bay with combination punching until eventually Bud starts to land. By round 7 and 8, we get Bud landing and penetrating Shawn's boxing ability and being outboxed, using length and distance. The key will be length and distance, pushing Shawn back, but using length and distance. At this point, Shawn Porter goes back to trying to make it to the inside again. Kenny Porter's going ape shit. He's going crazy. Shawn, you got to go at him. You got to go at him. He's up on the scorecards. All right? You got to go back to what you was doing. This is everything. This is what you need. Shawn attempts to go back and attempts to brawl with Terence Crawford by rounds 9 and 10. And he gets stopped. He starts to get beat up. At this point, trying to rush to the inside on Terence Crawford in the later portions of the fight, he will get beat up. And Kenny Porter stops the fight in round 10. That's how I see this fight going. I think Shawn Porter gives a valiant effort, but he'll be limited. I think that the many wars that Shawn Porter has been in through the years, I think we'll see it all come to a head in one night. That's what I truly believe. I truly believe that Kenny Porter is trying to stick a boot in Shawn's ass. He's trying to wake Shawn up. I think he's trying to wake Shawn up. I see the respect level that they're showing Crawford at the press conferences. Yeah, we can read into that and say, that they're friends, but no, damn that. That's just too much respect. There's something up, man. Kenny know it. Shawn know it. I don't see the eye of the tiger. I don't feel the fire, and I think he's going to get stopped. And I think it's crossing his mind. He knows that a lot of the shit that he does against the lower tier and less strong opponents, he can't do against this dude. He know that. And I think Shawn Porter going to get stopped. And Bud Crawford will be the first man in history to stop Showtime Shawn Porter. That is my prediction. That's the way I think it's going to go. And I think Shawn Porter retires after Terence Crawford. And people may come up with excuses or whatever. He was on ESPN, whatever. Shawn is seeming out of character and out of place. He doesn't even know how to talk to Terence Crawford. It's like he doesn't want to go too far and offend. And I get it. They can just be buddies and they can just be friends. But dog, he being like overly doesn't want to go. I don't even know if Shawn Porter has the killer instinct in him to want to go there with Bud. the way he been acting. Look at the look in Bud's eyes and look at the look. This is how Shawn Porter was looking at the press conference. He had a look in his eyes similar to this. Bud looking like, I gotta hype myself up for this one. I gotta put a killer in me. Don't keep trying to talk nice to me, Shawn. Don't keep trying to be a buddy with me, bruh. I get it. We homies and all that, but right now I can't be in that mindset. You trying to keep talking nice. You trying to keep being buddy and shit to keep me off your ass. It don't work like that, bruh. And that's what I see Shawn looking like he doing. Bud Crawford looking to make a statement in this fight. It ain't about you, Shawn. He needs this statement so he can stand in that ring and categorize himself as the #1 welterweight on the planet. Once he stops you, he needs that statement to be heard. Shawn, you got $4 million, bruh. $4 million, your highest payday. You got paid that for a reason because your name is needed. Your name is needed. Bud going in there with the eye of a tiger, bro. Look at that. Look at that. This is Terence Crawford at the press conference. That's how he was looking at that man at the press conference, Joe. He ain't had no words. People like, he ain't selling the fight. He ain't selling the fight. This is not that cat. Y'all gonna learn. This ain't no showman. This ain't no act. He don't know how to do that shit. I got a homeboy like that, real spill. I got a homeboy like that. He looks like this 24/7. When he smile, it's like, what the hell? It's like the sky about to fall. Like, what the? He cracked a smile, bro. I got a homie like that, just like this. He don't know how to act a certain kind of way. He don't know how to act phony. He don't know how to be all hyped up for the crowd and hop. He don't know how to be that guy. It's not who he is. He a G. And that's how I look at Terence Crawford. He don't know how to do that shit, bro. He don't know how to sell. That's why he need a promoter. That's why he need guaranteed money. He don't know how to do it. All he know how to do is fight. And so, Shawn, while you wearing Porter purple and worrying about what your suits look like, while you worrying about doing all of the interviews and giving, being on all of the networks and worrying about what people are saying, and you trying to get under, y'all see him try some lame way to get up under Crawford's skin about some Twitter shit. No, bro, that shit don't work, bro. It's like you running out of tricks. You know you about to get your ass whooped, bro, and you acting way out of character. Bud has always said one-word answers, and he like, I guess I got to be the one to answer to that, right? Bud looking like, yo, you goofy little dude, man. You don't hurry up and say what you got to say so we can get the hell out of here. Bud said, I'm sitting in a room by myself playing Call of Duty all week. Sitting in there eating bologna sandwiches and shit. You know what I'm saying? Hard, stale-ass bread and shit. I ain't even got no phone in there with me. You know what I mean? I'm sleeping on the floor. On nails and shit. And you sitting around here, wandering around here in purple suits and shit. Do you know what time it is, homeboy? This Hall of Fame conversation is real. You might not give a damn about yours, but I give a damn about mine. That's the vibe I got. I think Terence Crawford gonna stop Shawn Porter. And you gotta understand something here, fight fans. For anyone that's wondering, and I mean this, and this is a fact, the whole line of Terence Crawford gonna stop Shawn Porter started right here. This is where it came from. It reached the highest heights. It started right here. No one was saying it but me. It gathered steam over time. It moved around boxing. It took over. Even Bud mumbled it. I'm going to be the first one to stop Shawn Porter in devastating and tremendous fashion, was his words. That started right here. The very, very first video, the very first time I ever spoke on this, my very first words were, he going to stop Shawn Porter. And it took off. Let's see it. Let's see it. You know what I'm saying? All day. What say y'all, fight fans? What say y'all? What say y'all? Pooh Dangles, what's up, man? What's up? What's up with you, man? Chilling, man. Chilling. It's getting late, fight fans. We're going to get a couple comments in, man. Charles Stevenson says, okay, I already rest. Damn, I almost already Read that. Hey, Bruce Gold says Rice is getting better, man. Oh, he's saying he getting better? We'll see, man. Hey, look, if he sealed a deal with this Coffee rematch, hey, bro, hey, second chances, new beginnings, man. Everybody deserve one. 6 losses don't mean nothing. We just was talking about this. These are the kind of fighters that you got to have the most respect for. The ones that were forgotten. The one that fought themselves back from the dead. We'll see, bruh. We'll see, man. We'll definitely see, man. If he do it, man, that's respectable as hell, bro. Black Ham, what's up, man? What's up, man? Big Ace, what's up? What's up? Porter Purple, I knew he was going to hear that come out, man. Hey, bro, I couldn't believe when he was sitting in there with a purple suit on, man. You know, Shawn be listening, bro. Shawn knows about the criticisms of him. I mean, when I originally brought up the Hall of Fame, I remember speaking about the Hall of Fame, and all of a sudden, Shawn Porter over there on the Porter Way talking about the Hall of Fame and whether or not he gets in. All of a sudden, he wearing a Porter purple suit. All of a sudden, he talking about something, he gonna stop Bud Crawford. Hey, man, but when this is all said and done, because like I said, we put Shawn through a lot of hell in this building. We did. I admit. But when this is done, we going to give Shawn his just due. Much love to Shawn Porter, bro. But your day of reckoning is upon us. Your day of reckoning is upon us, and Shawn, you're going to get stopped. Going to get stopped. Terence Crawford is a knockout artist, fight fans. Knockout artist for a reason. Covering several weight classes, might I add. D-Lo, what's up? D-Lo 44 Boxing, what's going on, man? Danny seemed to hit hard as well. Yeah, Danny hit real hard, bro. And this is why he fought Danny the way he fought. This, you know what? I went back and watched that fight, and believe it or not, maybe I ain't watching it in a while, I scored that fight a lot closer. A hell of a lot closer than I originally thought. I mean, a hell of a lot. Danny actually fought a much better fight than I originally gave him credit for. I got to admit that. Danny was doing his thing on the body of Porter. Porter was struggling with Danny's power. He didn't jump in there willy-nilly with Danny. He had to switch paces on Danny, which always throws Danny off. Slow pace, fast pace, slow pace, fast pace. It throws his timing off. But, I mean, Danny fought a decent fight. But the power clearly gave us a much different Porter than we seen, say, against Errol Spence Jr. And Errol Spence Jr., he was trying his best to stay jumping on Errol. Earl fought the fight with him. You know what I mean? But Earl clearly wasn't as big as a puncher as Danny was, or as Ugas was. Because against Ugas, Shawn wasn't jumping in there against Ugas either. The same thing. Shawn was boxing his way on the outside, and he was getting counted all night. And another shot that lands on Shawn a lot is the jab. I said the left hook earlier. The jab. And if Crawford goes to the right-handed jab, he's going to beat Shawn up all night with that jab. I'm telling y'all, man. I see a beatdown coming of styles make fights. Shawn get touched with the wrong shots that Crawford is damn good at laying out. He's damn good at with the jab, and he's damn good at laying a left hook. And on top of that, he throws much straighter punches than Shawn Porter. His punches are going to reach the target way before Shawn Porter's. Shawn is going to get beat up with a jab, y'all. I'm telling y'all. I've been saying that for weeks. Watch what I tell you. Shawn ain't never been in there. Even when Earl was fighting southpaw against Shawn, Earl's jab was landing all the time. Imagine that being Crawford's jab. A right-handed fighter. I'm telling y'all. Go back and watch the Earl fight. Earl was landing that jab like shit. He was timing that shit. And that's going to be a jab from Crawford. Man, y'all ain't hear me. Y'all ain't hear me. Hey, boy, hey, Boots Ennis stay with the squad, man, pushing his name, bro. He say Crawford versus Boots Ennis. We might get that. But in the meantime, if Boots Ennis is smart, he better go after David Benavidez. You know what I'm saying? Andre says, yo, Larry Holmes had that jab, had that potent ass jab like that. Yeah, exactly. Bud pulls back with his hands down. That's another flaw. I'd say the left hand. That's the one flaw that I saw. You know what I mean? I say that left hand. That left hand does drop. I can't say that his hands like drop when he goes in the straight back lines. He don't do many straight back lines. You know what I'm saying? But I'll give you the left hand. I mean, and I can't say it consistently drop when he's backing up. His defense is not super tight. I'm not going to act like he got Mayweather-esque type defense. Hell no. And there are times where Bud does get touched out of a fight, but I truly believe that he's the kind of fighter that he needs shit like that to kind of wake him up. To get the best version of himself, he need a fighter like that to kind of touch him a little bit. And as crazy as that may sound, I got to go with the consistent themes of these fighters. What is the consistent themes that you see from these two fighters, fight after fight after fight after fight? And the things that we discussing are the consistent things that I've seen. Every fight. It doesn't like Shawn Porter is consistent when he gets pushed on the back foot, that he throws explosive combinations. It's consistent. It's consistent that Shawn Porter gets punched between punches. It's consistent. It's consistent when he's facing big punches, he's more cautious. And he starts off much slower than faster. It's consistent. Even against Julio Diaz, when he had a problem, when he fought him to a draw, Shawn got reduced somewhat to that fight because Julio was down to exchange with Shawn Porter. It changed him. He can run over and throw a bunch of punches on Adrian Bronner, on Paulie Malignaggi. But because of his caliber, he's the different Porter. He gets reduced. And when he tries to be this rough and tough Shawn Porter, he gets beat up. Y'all don't be seeing that shit. I don't understand it. He got by on the skin of his chin from Danny Garcia. He got by on the skin of his chin with Danny Garcia. Errol Spence Jr. wiped out Danny Garcia after being off after a major car accident. And he wiped out Danny Garcia. Styles make fights. Why? Because Earl don't give a damn about Danny's power. And he was going to beat Danny with length. And he ain't give a damn about Danny's power. He just didn't care. He was willing to trade with Danny. As for Porter like, hell no. I got to choose my spots. I got to make Danny come after me. I got to be a different Porter. And that's what y'all going to get against Terence Crawford. A different Porter. He's going to get reduced, unfortunately. That maul and brawl shit ain't going to work too well. He going to run into too many shots. And he's going to get touched with too many jabs. He's going to be forced to box. And when that happens, like I say, I give him having success for a couple rounds doing that. I think Terence Crawford going to have to make the adjustment of dealing with a Porter that can hit you with combinations when you get near him, when you try to walk to him. That is something that I don't know if Terence Crawford is going to be able to deal with right off the bat. I think, honestly, it's going to take him a couple rounds to have to deal with that. Shawn Porter's going to realize I'm being more successful with luring him in towards me. But then eventually he's going to start to get touched. Because I believe Crawford going to get his distance down and going to realize my long-ass reach, I can still walk Porter down but do it from the outside. Where Porter's not going to be able to touch me as easy with his combos. It's going to be a stoppage fight, fans. It's going to be a stoppage. It's going to be a stoppage. That's because Earl got the best jab in the division, says Mike Rhyme. Hey, man, hey. Earl beat Shawn up pretty good with that damn jab. You know what I'm saying? But the way he fought Danny, it was like Danny's power. But Danny ain't even let his hands go against Earl. He let his hands go way more against Shawn than he did against Earl. Because he had to deal with the length, too, and the distance. That's another deal. Shawn gonna get popped so many times trying to get to the inside. And that mauling and brawling shit ain't gonna work because Crawford is more athletic than y'all think. And he's much more stronger than y'all think. This is gonna be the fight that gives y'all all the answers, right? You'll see. Physically strong and punching power strong. All things to make Shawn Porter rethink who he is. Y'all may say, well, Porter's going to connect on Crawford at this point. But Porter ain't got no power, though. Porter ain't dropping nothing. It ain't no fear there of Porter's power. The fear is Porter outworking you and outgrinding you, not knocking you out with a big shot. That ain't no fear. Porter don't do that. Y'all got a made up funhouse image of Porter if you think Porter just leads off with big shots and knock down people. That ain't what Porter do. Porter got to make it an ugly, grungy, dirty fight, wear you down. And you asking Porter to wear down someone that can crack. I mean, really crack. Earl's cracking ability is argued. Danny, I believe, can crack. Danny can crack. Ugas is physically strong, but he can't crack. Bud is physically strong and can crack. Y'all have never seen Shawn face nothing like this. I'm telling y'all, right? Y'all be like, Kell Brook, he was the best thing in the world. Kell Brook wasn't shit compared to this. Kell Brook was struggling with Carson Jones around that time. Kell Brook's biggest win prior to Shawn Porter was a Sinchenko or something like that. Kell Brook was busting at the seams and barely making welterweight. He fought Carson Jones in a rematch at a catchweight. When Shawn got in there with Earl, he didn't face a puncher like this. When he got in there with Danny, he did. And he was a different Porter. Ugas is not even a puncher like my man Bud. But he even gave Shawn something to think about running to the inside. You know what I'm saying? It's just too many flaws, too many things that Bud does well that Shawn Porter is going to have a problem with. Much love to my brother G. Benson in that super chat, man. Thank you for support for the channel, family. Much love to you, man. I see Bud boxing like he did with Postile at first. Bud only loops his punches once he figures out and has you timed. The jab will be the big weapon for Bud, and I can see a stoppage or UD. Great call, G. Benson. Great call, fam. Yeah, man. I can see Bud definitely coming out boxing also. I think Bud is going to let Shawn Porter pick the pace. I think what Bud is going to do is come out and let Porter pick whichever pace that he want to go. If you want to come out and act reckless, fine, we go there. But if you want to come out and be patient, fine, that's cool too. First round, I see being a fill-out round anyway. I told you, I don't think Shawn gets bucked until about the third or fourth round. I think Shawn is going to be too concerned. He's going to want to feel the power. He's going to want to test the power. He's going to want to make sure before I become who I am, I better make sure that I know what I'm dealing with here. And he's going to want to see if the power is real. And if he figures out if he can or cannot take, he's going to make the decision around round 3. I think Kenny Porter jumps on Shawn around round 3 or 4, say turn it up. And what happens when you say turn it up? Bud turns it up. And Shawn is going to have to ask himself in his head, do I continue to listen to my dad and keep jumping in there and get hit with these damn shots? Or do I start to box and do what I want to do? Kenny Porter says that's the problem. That's why you lose, because you do what you want to do. Will Shawn become and do what he wants to do and say, damn, Pops, you're not in here taking these shots. And every time I run in there and try to hit him and try to cover the real estate like I like to do and get low, because you know Shawn like to get low. And that's why he gets touched with the left hook, because he puts his head right there where those left hooks be front. And he gets low, he wants to come up, and when he comes up, he's touched by that left hook every time. And on top of that, when he's getting low and he's trying to come in like he comes in, touch with the jab every time. Touch with the jab. And punched between punches. You can't get punched between punches from a Terence Crawford fight, fans. Can't happen. So I'm rocking with Bud Crawford for the stoppage over Showtime, Shawn Porter all day. You know what I'm saying? Let me get ready to get up out of here, fight fans. Let me get ready to get on up out of here. James Brown says the uppercut, 100, 100, all day. All day. Damn, my mic didn't. I knocked the little thing loose. Yeah, man. Hey, that uppercut from Shawn, it's a bad joint. He throws an uppercut like nobody business. You know what I'm saying? He throws an uppercut like nobody business. And that's one thing I will honestly give Shawn Porter. Shawn Porter throws an uppercut and he throws his hooks like nobody's business. Damn, I just literally took my microphone off. Hold on, Fight Fan. Yeah, he throws an uppercut like nobody business, man. Uppercuts and hooks. Uppercuts and hooks. You know, the crazy thing is that most people would say you can't hook with a hooker, right? You can't hook with a hooker. And in Bud's case, he got that long reach, you know what I'm saying? He got that long reach, but he can throw some real good ass hooks, you know what I'm saying? And like G. Benson was just saying, he throws a lot of looping shots once he kind of got your timing down, and he does kind of loop his hooks a lot, but when them joints land, they do a hell of a lot of damage. And he can throw one hard ass hook. Now, Shawn Porter is a hooker without no doubt. And that's something that just, he better be careful. But at the end of the day, dog, Bud throws some damn good hooks too. Which I don't know if that rule applies. I think Bud can drop Shawn with a hook. Truth be told. More torque. He gets more leverage on his hooks. Shawn doesn't. We'll see. We'll see. EJ turned his back on Danny, says DGO. Damn. That's crazy. If EJ turned his back, because he treated Danny like he was nothing. Just straight up outboxed him. You know what I'm saying? Oh, and then Senior X says, your assessment is spot on, man. Thank you, fam. Appreciate you, man. You know what I'm saying? I appreciate it, man. Just calling it like I see it, fam. Just calling it like I see it. You know what I'm saying? I appreciate you all, man. Kofi's Universe says, Bud pulls back with his hands down. Oh, that's another flaw. We seen that. Okay. Mr. Cheesehead says, yo, Terence is going to stop Porter. You just watch. I agree with you, Mr. Cheesehead. I think we got to stop it on our hands, fight fans. That's what I truly believe. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong. We'll see. We'll see. But everything that I see with these two styles and everything the way I know Shawn Porter's been in, and I do not think that Shawn Porter is nearly as hungry as once upon a time. I do not think that Shawn Porter is in a comfortable environment neither. I don't think he likes being over there with ESPN. I don't think he likes the fact that he had to overly sell this fight like he had to do. And to see how hard that he is selling it lets me know that it seems to me he's more worried about how much money and incentive that they're going to get out of this than actually wanting to win the fight. I just get that feeling. I think a lot of us go off what we seen from 2014 Shawn Porter. And not realizing that Shawn Porter's been through many grueling fights since then. I get it. He teed off against Formella, but he didn't stop Formella. And Formella had proved to be no resistance. He gave him none. If Bud Crawford would have been in there with a Formella, he wouldn't have last 4 rounds. Not even 4. So it may look impressive to see Shawn dominate Formella and say, yeah, well, look, we seen this and seen. He had no pushback in that fight. Shawn has been through a lot, man. And what I see in Shawn's eyes, like I said before, is him wondering, do I want to continue to do this? Do my pops know what he pushing me to do? Shawn is a family man now. Shawn got a whole family. Wife and kids and all that stuff. I don't know if Shawn ain't hungry like that no more. Shawn is probably looking at other things. That's what I get from him. Porter Purple is the way, Holmes. When you make that line of suit, Shawn, you give me my damn credit. You wore that purple suit and that thing today, boy, I jumped out my seat. Shawn wore a purple suit. He know damn well we watching all day. You know what I'm saying? Mr. Cheesehead says, I disagree, bro. Porter knows this fight is all or nothing, and he knows Terence Crawford is a killer. Yeah, but I don't know if Porter really won it no more, bro. I just don't know. I just don't think so. It's definitely all or nothing. It's definitely all or nothing. And he can revive his career 100% with this win. I mean, he beats Terence Crawford. He's a new Shawn Porter. He's Shawn Porter 2.0. He's a new Shawn Porter with a newfound respect. with the win at his back, walking through boxing like he the dude, he'll get all the respect in the world. He'll get another big payday. He'll be the topic of all discussions, exactly where he probably always wanted to be. Yeah, it all lies in this fight. And maybe I'm miscalculating. Maybe Shawn does got the fire burning. I just ain't seen it. I just ain't felt it. That's all I'm saying. I just ain't felt it. That guy that was the macho man that turned up and turned into the macho man against Danny Garcia. What you gonna do, Danny Garcia? When he was that guy, I don't feel that guy. I just don't. But I could be wrong. We'll see. And Shawn Porter, even though I got Bud Crawford stopping Porter, I want to say this clear. Shawn Porter has a big, huge chance of upsetting this fight. The realm of possibility of Shawn Porter winning is not impossible, by far. Some of y'all out there feel like, yo, we finally getting our true measure on Bud Crawford. Mainman, because I see a lot of y'all fence riders out here. Y'all doing fence picks. I see the fence picks, by the way. I see a lot of y'all fence riders, you know what I mean? Well, I just want to see a good fight type shit. Whatever. At the end of the day, you're going to learn all you need to learn. We're all going to learn. All excuses off the table. If you pick Bud Crawford to win, and he wins, give him his credit. If you pick Bud Crawford to win, you have been a fraud this whole time. Because why are you picking someone to win who is not that good? Who ain't proven? Who ain't beat no? Why are you picking him to beat Shawn Porter? That's another question. But at the end of the day, fight fans, everyone's gonna learn. And all I want us as boxing fans to do, Main Man's vision, which has always been my vision from day one, once this saga is all said and done, it's Bud and Spence or nothing else. Right? Ain't that right, Mike? It's Bud or Spence, and Spence ain't nothing else. Because Spence fans, you got nothing. You got no more ammo left, unless you're talking about Canelo. But you ain't got nothing. You got nowhere to go. Keith ain't ready. Terence Crawford, he got places he can go, but this is the fight that he wants. The time is now. And I would think that both fan bases will be applying pressure to their favorite fighter to say, this is what we want, and this is what we will pay for. Give us the biggest fight in boxing at that point. Right? Right? And then boxing will go to the next level. It's just going to be turned up because this fight is going to engulf everything. So all of you stick in the muds out here that's worrying about what the real fans are doing while we trying to get hyped up for this, because we right there, man. And this is what it's all about. It wasn't about overly, fanboy. No, it's about pushing these two together for the biggest fight in boxing. That's what it's always been about from day one. We just got so caught up in our shit that we took our eye off the ball. And everyone just so happy to support their guy. But the end goal, it was always been my goal. This is why I jump on Errol Spence Jr. It ain't about, oh, he's the bad fighter. I never said he was a bad fighter. It's about you chose Little Mike. It's about you said 60-40s and 70-30s. Obstacles. It's about you giving every other fight in the world except the fight we want to see. That's what it's about with me, fight fans. And that's what it should be about with y'all. Because y'all are fight fans. And whenever any fighter is sitting around enriching themselves and refuse to give the paying customer what they want to see, I would think that we all would call them on it. But I guess I'm wrong. So at the end of the day, all I want is for these two fighters, that's all I wanted for the last couple years, is to cut the shit, stop throwing names out there. I don't want to hear another name from either side. It's sad that we are at a point where two friends got to fight each other. because everyone got pushed into. It got to the point where two friends got to fight each other because ain't nobody else. This is the sad state that we are. And I say this to a lot of fans too. So support we are now. We here. You know, the thing is I don't know, what was that, a year or so ago? When I had got that gut punch, when we were like right here before. And then Earl announced, was it the Porter fight? I think it was. It was like a gut punch. You know what I'm saying? It was like we was right there, and he decided to go purposely and do something else. We can't take no more of that, man. There's no one else. If Keith Thurman come out, Keith, you got things to do. You got to get back into the win column. Bro, you've been out of the ring 100 years. Nobody don't even know where you at. You know what I'm saying? Keith, you got to fight 2-3 tune-ups. You need to get back here from the get back here. We don't know what the hell Keith going to do. But all I know is, Keith, you go over there. The biggest fight in boxing about to go down after this. Hopefully, right? Hopefully, right? Hopefully. Unless we're going to throw Ugas in the mix, and then Keith going to come back, and then we ain't going to ever get the fight. We'll see. And if we don't get the fight, it's going to be an atrocity to everybody, mainly the boxing. The ones that lose the most is us. So any boxing fan that can say, well, why is this person, why they worried about each other and all this up? We lose. They're going to be rich millionaires and go still fight and do whatever they're going to do, even if they fight each other or not. We lose. Y'all get that? Is this thing on? We lose. Do y'all understand that? I hope we all on the same page with that. Oh, one last thing before I get out of here. That's what I forgot to bring up. WBC Convention, Terence Crawford applies to be the mandatory to Errol Spence Jr. Now, he know damn well that it don't work that way. But then again, with the WBC, it's worth the try, right? They bend rules all the goddamn time, right? So maybe Terence Crawford just felt like, well, you've been doing so much rule breaking anyway, why not me try? But here's the deal. You still get an A for effort. I don't care if it was bogus or not. You get an A for effort. The message and the signal is well known. I'm on your ass, man. I'm on your ass. That's the message being sent. I'm on your ass. It's however you want Curry. That's like a shot across the water, bro. It's like he just letting it be known, like, no matter what's going on, my name in the mix. I'm right here, bro. I'm we yin and yang. I'm the Joker to your Batman. You need me. You need me. And I need you. When we gonna stop faking and both make each other very wealthy men, and take over the sport of boxing and stop this BS? When we gonna do that? While all of you fans out there cutting off your nose to spite your damn face, don't make no damn sense. I don't want to see it. Why should he fight Bud? Why should Bud fight him? Why should Canelo do this? Who has he done to fight Canelo? You fight fans, some of y'all making my stomach turn with that type talk. That is a damn shame. I would never take up for Terence Crawford in that fashion. Not in a million billion years. Nah, would never happen. You know what I'm saying? All day. So I'm going to get up out of here, y'all. I'm going to catch up with y'all tomorrow, man. It's been a cool ass show. You know what I'm saying? As always, you know what I'm saying? And, you know, we're going to definitely chop it up. I'm going to hopefully do another cool ass panel before we get the fight on. The fight is Saturday night. So more than likely, man, we'll probably try to get a panel crack-a-locking sometime Saturday before the fight, while everybody's starting to get into their fight emotions, you know what I'm saying? And everybody's just starting to kind of like warm up to it. So, I mean, yeah, I think we'll get a panel started. Hopefully some passion start flying. And we'll talk some consequences. Maybe get some more predictions out, you know what I'm saying? Any other fan want to slide through, y'all know y'all can definitely come on through and kick it with the homie. You know what I'm saying? Much love to you all, man. And I appreciate each and every one of y'all, man. Let me catch a couple of y'all comments and I'm out the door. Mr. Cheesehead says, Porter, you gonna stop Porter? Absolutely, absolutely. Terence on Spence neck. He's already telling the WBC to mandate the fight. Absolutely, bro. Say, message well heard. Loud and clear. Loud and clear. You know what I'm saying? Hey, get back here for the get back here. Say G-Pence. Hey, bro, that's your man Keith, man. Ah, damn, man. I hope Keith make it back, bro. Keith, damn, they say it's been almost 3 years since Keith fought, man. That's a reality check, bro. It's to the point now I don't even know if I want to see him fight. There's no way I can believe that Keith is the same cat that beat Shawn and all of them and sitting out of the ring this many years. I can't believe that, man. It's hard for me. I got to see it to believe it. I really do. I really do. Dillian made 4 pounds his last fight, says Boxing Hog. There you go. So what the hell is Frank Warren talking about? Frank Warren, like, we hear you only made 300 pounds, 300,000 pounds. So we just offering you the same amount of money. That's messed up, man. They got Dillian in the trick bag. They got Dillian in the trick bag, Holmes. That's crazy. Let me get out of here, fight fans, so I get some sleep, man. Thumbs up on the way out if you didn't hit it on the way in. Share. Rock those bells. Another edition of We Talking Boxing Live. I will do timestamps. Once this all renders out, I will drop timestamps in the comment section so y'all can come on back through here and if y'all want to watch it and go to your favorite part. You know what I'm saying? Y'all have a blessed night, man. I'm going to go ahead and chill on out, give me some rest. See y'all either tomorrow or either more than likely Saturday afternoon where we'll get another stream start and maybe have some of the fam come on and give some final thoughts. All right? Much love to y'all all. Have a blessed night. Remember, the devil is everywhere, omnipresent, everywhere at the same time. He wants you dead. He wants you sad. He wants everything in your life turned upside down. You not to be happy. He won't want you to see this fight this weekend. You know what I'm saying? He want the lights in your house turned off so you won't even have a chance to see the damn fight. It don't make no sense. We ain't going like that. Knock his ass out all day. To the next video, fight fam. Peace out.